Hey,
Hey,
it's a shut your mouth lounge. It is in fact one single podcast, and I'm Alex, and that's Addie who just said hey.
I'm not so grump.
Yeah, and also Pink's here.
Hey there!
It's episode 85. We actually got some topics this week, believe it or not. First one's gonna be
we
one
had
that Addie's not gonna contribute anything to, which will be awesome.
I'm, I'm gonna contribute to any of these. Don't lie to yourself.
You can talk about Overwatch and Avengers.
I can talk about Overwatch.
Well, you did watch the
Maybe.
Avengers clip, didn't you?
I watched a Avengers clip.
Ah, okay. The old one or the one that just came out like a day or so ago?
I saw one that was leaked onto Reddit like yesterday.
Okay, that's the right one.
Okay.
Alright. So, hey, the Kingsman. So, this was announced around the time that it was Taron Egerton was saying he was done with Kingsman, right?
right.
Which, yeah, was kind of an unfortunate move. I don't understand dropping out the second title. Wouldn't you want to finish out the trilogy? It's always a trilogy.
You would think,
But I guess that's besides the point. So, hey,
right?
I wasn't actually very excited for this. When they said they were going to make a Kingsman prequel, I was like, oh, well, this is going to be a shitty tie-in to grab cash, isn't it? But, yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting trailer. I mean, for one thing, it's going to be set in World War One era, which World War One is not handled nearly as much as World War Two, obviously. So I'm interested in that. But what I'm really interested in, I was hazy throughout a lot of that until I saw Grigory fucking Rasputin. Sold. I mean, Ray Fiennes is always good for a movie too, but I mean, Rasputin.
How can you say to Rasputin?
I don't think there's
He's
ever
Russia's biggest love. He's Russia's biggest love machine.
rah Rasputin, indeed.
And I nearly said that he's Russia's biggest Rasputin, so you know.
Rasputin, he's Russia's biggest Rasputin. They assembled all the Rasputins and they had a contest. They
Rah,
lined them
rah,
up.
Rasputin. Yeah,
Right.
go ahead.
Oh man. I don't think we're ever gonna get a straight, serious portrayal of Grigory Rasputin and his politics in the Russian court, just because it's so much fun to make him a crazy supervillain. Like, you remember
Crazy
Hell?
supervillain that will not die.
No, that's just too much fun for a villain. It's a villain who you can just have get horribly abused by the heroes, and he keeps on going. Like, you remember Hellboy when he was a Satanist Nazi? Ah, oh, I love Rasputin. Addie, have you ever seen the Shin Megami Tensei games? The Kozunoha, what's his name? Kuzunoha?
Kuzunoha. Seems familiar, but I don't know.
It was a more action-based sub-series for Shin Megami Tensei, and Rasputin is very important in that. And just like in everything else with Rasputin, he's like a crazy demon or Satanist or some shit, or
Ah,
an
yeah.
old god. Ah,
Plot twist, Rasputin is Cthulhu all along.
it cracks me up these cases where, like, historically we know the person wasn't anywhere near the supervillain that, like, he was built up to be at the time. Like,
Right.
we understand that historians at the time had a lot to gain from portraying Rasputin as an absolute monster. But it's just too much fun to go with the characterization. Because, like, it's the same thing with the Sengoku era. Like, Oda Nobunaga was not the god demon king, like he said. But it's just too fun to have Oda Nobunaga be an actual god demon king.
Yeah.
Or with the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, looking back, Liu Bei probably wasn't a very good person, and Cao Cao was actually might have been actually a good person. But the Romance of the Three Kingdoms book makes Cao Cao such a sinister, crazy, plotting type guy that it's more fun to make Cao Cao, the sinister plotter of the War of the Three Kingdoms.
You know, the only thing that I want out of Rasputin's characterization in anything that I don't think people have done so far is Immortal Superman Rasputin.
I mean, we've got Satanist superhuman Rasputin, who is pretty impossible to kill. So I mean, we're there. We're almost there.
Yeah, almost.
That's how the Russian nobility at the time recorded it. Is what you're looking for, Addy. The guy who got poisoned, stabbed, shot, chopped up, and then thrown in a river. And
Yeah, I want that. Yeah.
What was it that finally killed him in the Russian nobility's account? Was it the freezing?
No, he survived as freezing. I think he drowned in the water because he couldn't move his body.
Yes.
But and all that, like the real actual like unbiased historian account says, yeah, he probably only got poisoned and then that was it.
Right.
Or no, he
He
survived the
probably
poison.
died immediately, but we still need to dramatize all this, so...
I think it was that they poisoned him and the poison didn't take effect as fast as they wanted, so they just shot him.
Yep.
But anyways, so him as the villain of a World War I era movie set in England, I don't know what Rasputin could possibly be plotting for England. Especially considering, weren't England and Russia allies in World War I? Wasn't Russia on the Allied side?
I don't immediately
know.
know. I will have to look into that.
I thought the Central Powers were Germany, Italy, Austria, Ottomans. And the allies were England, France, Russia, and eventually America. Oh, and Japan. Though everybody kind of slips over that part. What? World War I outside of Europe? Crazy.
Never happened.
So, I mean, this being Kingsman, it will no doubt turn out ridiculous on some level.
Yeah, Russia was with the Allied powers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, why would Rasputin be plotting against England? They're probably going to take the angle of Rasputin being a madman who is obsessed with ambition and all that.
Right.
But, like, why? I assume the film's finale is going to be, like, clearly the main character is going to set up the Bolsheviks, right?
Right.
But, I don't know, I'm always a fan of Rasputin just because he's one of the Like, there are certain historical characters that when you bring them in, they were just such ridiculous cartoon characters, even in real life, that you have to make them gigantic hams, even in the movies, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Once again, freaking just going back to my favorite historical person, Ate Masamune. He went against societal norms, dressed himself up in white because that people wear white, and he went up to his freaking nephew and went like, "Okay, so I don't like how you kill Christians, so kill me instead." And he wasn't killed somehow. I love it. He also wore a gigantic freaking half moon on his head to battle. He also had his freaking troops wear that.
Didn't
why not?
Masamune eat his own eye?
No, he didn't eat it, but he did tear it out with his hand. Maybe it's either him or Gojiro. I think is what's recorded.
Okay. Was it someone in the War of the Three Kingdoms? Like, the two wars that always get adapted into Musou games, I get easily confused. Was it someone in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms that ate his own eyeball?
I don't know. I don't know much about the Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
It may have been Jahudun. Anyways. So, I mean, I wasn't very interested in this. Pink, how interested were you in this going in? Like,
I was not interested at all. Not even a little bit, because I quite thoroughly enjoyed the first Kingsman. I absolutely hated the second one, and that killed me on any hope I had for any series in any regard.
Right, but the second Kingsman had Channing Tatum.
That is true.
Which is, like, honestly enough to make me hate any movie. I can't fucking stand the dude. For a while there, him and Ashton Kutcher were, like, in the same category of making me hate any movie they're in. And I still don't like Ashton Kutcher as an actor, but I feel like I can't dog on him anymore, because it turns out he's actually a saint in real life. And the other thing about Kingsman 2 is that it was built on the idea of, oh, hey, oh, damn it, what's his name? Which one of the knights was he? Not Lancelot, not was it Galahad? Was he Galahad?
Galahad.
Right, the entire pretty much the entire premise of Kingsman 2 was Galahad's back.
Yep.
Which sucked because Kingsman 1, one of the signature moments of the entire film, is Galahad's death.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, where could they even go with Kingsman 3? Because they won't have Eggsy there. And they won't have Merlin either.
No!
And Merlin was one of the best parts of the movie, because it's Mark fucking
Merlin
Strong.
was the best part. That's what sealed the deal for me. Once he was gone, I was like, nope, I'm checking out of this series. No more for me.
Like, Kingsman, the only series where Mark Strong gets to play a hero, and he fucking dies. Oh, by the way, spoilers for Kingsman: The Golden Circle, if you give a fuck.
If you haven't seen the first Kingsman by this point, that's your fault. If you haven't seen the second one, don't worry.
Yeah.
Ignore it.
Oh, man. You want to talk about stuff that started off great and it wound up disappointing. How about Alan Moore's career? Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
Who the hell is Alan Moore?
Okay.
Seems familiar.
Okay, probably the... Would you call him the fourth most... I got a sudden lisp now. Would you call him maybe the... fourth? Maybe fourth? Maybe fifth. I'd go with fifth. Fifth most famous comic book writer of all time after Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Bendis, and Jeff Johns. I don't know. He might be more famous than Jeff Johns.
I was about to say the same thing. I don't think Jeff Johns gets as much notoriety as those other guys.
It's impossible for me to not correlate him with Bendis, though.
Yeah.
For several reasons. So Alan Moore wrote Watchmen, The Killing Joke. He wrote... Damn it, there's a great story of his that I can't think of at the current moment. Oh... Okay, he wrote two of the classic Superman stories. He wrote For the Man Who Has Everything, which is
yes,
excellent. He wrote Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which is also excellent. He wrote The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He wrote From Hell. He wrote Prometheus. Not Prometheus. Providence. Yes, Providence. Miracle Man. V for Vendetta. And he wrote the only good Captain Britain story, or at least the only notable Captain Britain story, Jasper's Warp.
yes.
I like how it cut you off, so he said that he wrote The Man Who Has Everything, which is eggs.
Oh.
Which is eggs.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I want to rag on Alan Moore, because he declined a lot in quality once he wasn't working for DC and Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Moore is one of those definitive writers. It's like what Ted always says about Vince, not Vince McMahon, the other Vince in wrestling.
Russo?
Vince Russo. It's what Ted always says about Vince Russo. There are some writers that just need to be kept on a leash.
Yeah.
When Alan Moore is kept on a leash, he's excellent. He's one of the best in the business. When he's off the leash, he's making porn.
Yep.
Like, Watchmen, I love Watchmen. Watchmen is not my favorite Alan Moore story. I'm not sure. Killing Joke is a classic. I love Killing Joke. But I also love For the Man Who Has Everything.
Yeah, I'd probably say For the Man Who Has Everything is my personal favorite.
I mean, my thing about For the Man Who Has Everything, it bugs me the idea of Superman's fantasy being him being Kal-El. Because to me, Superman is Clark. I never liked the idea of Kal-El being Superman's true identity. For me, Superman is Clark.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Superman's perfect world would be quietly living on a Kansas farm with his parents, Lois, and what's the name of his kid? Is his kid named Jonathan?
Yes.
I always get Jonathan and Connor confused. But, like, to me, that is what I would think Superman's perfect world would be. And he wouldn't be Superman. That's a key part of it. I think in Superman's perfect world, he wouldn't be Superman. He'd just live quietly on a farm, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
I've never been big on the whole thing of him him being like, for one thing, I don't want to make Superman too alien. It's always a key part to me that Superman, despite being an alien, is very much a man, you know?
Right.
And part of the issue of like Man of Steel is that it made him an alien, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You never looked at Henry Cavill's Superman and thought like that is the epitome of like human potential or anything like that. You looked at him and you're like, this is a crazy alien god who has temporarily decided to let us live. But at the end of the day, yeah, For the Man Who Has Everything was an excellently written story. That even though it's a Superman story, it also makes really great use of Batman, Robin, and Wonder Woman as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the only good stories to feature Jason Todd as Robin.
Yeah.
Like
It's an accomplishment.
It's so much one of the only stories to make good use of Jason Todd as Robin that you often forget it was Jason Todd that was Robin in that one.
Yeah. Like, oh wow, Jason Todd. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, remember when he didn't use guns?
Another notable story with Jason Todd as Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Jason Todd got freaking beaten to death by Joker.
Yeah, I was about to say, for most people, there was only one Jason Todd Robin story. The one where he fucking died.
Yep.
I can only think of two stories other than Death in the Family that had Jason Todd Robin, and the other one was The Cult, which is another weird Batman story.
Which one is that?
That is the one where, what's his name? Zebediah Blackwell or something leads a cult in Gotham because the people are sick and tired of the criminals and the rich and everything, and they wind up taking over the city. And Batman, that is infamous as the first crazy Batman story, because what he and Robin do is they load up a bunch of assault rifles with tranquilizer darts, which on its face is already stupid enough because Batman with guns, and then they climb into a bat tank and wage a two-person war on the entirety of Gotham.
Oh, I think I've heard of this story somewhere else.
Yes.
You might have told it to me once. I might have stumbled across it myself at one point. I know for a fact that I haven't read it, but I've definitely heard of it.
I may have mentioned it on the podcast after I read it. I'm not exactly sure.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Batman Robin going to the Bat Fallout shelter and then drop bat nukes on the freaking people of Gotham.
No, don't worry, they're tranquilizer nukes.
Yeah. They only have sleeping mustard gas in them.
That's a great example of a story with a great ending, and everything that comes before it is awful. Because the ending is they don't use the guns or the bat tank. How they beat the cult is simply they just prove the cult leader wrong in front of a big crowd of cultists, and the cultists promptly eat the cult leader. They just mulch him and eat him. And Batman and Robin Batman just sits there like, oh fuck, I didn't mean that. Whoopsie doodles. I mean, it's not you killing them if you didn't kill them.
Right?
That's the actual ending Batman.
Loopholes.
That should have been the ending Batman Beyond goes for. That's an actual I genuinely didn't kill him. But yeah, Alan, what? I don't know, because I also am a fan of the Jasper's Warp storyline. Even though it's a rather obscure one, I just like the idea of England's new Prime Minister is a mutant who warps reality and is steadily growing more and more insane every day, which means that reality is slowly falling apart.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird that they never brought Jasper back outside of like one or two comics for the X-Men. Because he's actually a very interesting character in the whole mutant dynamic.
Right.
Particularly, I like the idea that as bad as America is about mutants, England's worse. Because in Jasper's Warp, they legitimately have mutant concentration camps. Actual fucking concentration camps for the mutants. Which, the fact that they didn't have a comic where Magneto looks over there and everything's like, holy shit, Magneto was right, is crazy.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, they brought Jasper back from the dead, and Jasper showed up in like one or two Marvel comics and one or two X-Men comics. Do you remember the Claremont storyline, The Trial of Magneto?
Yes.
One of the three judges was Jasper.
Oh man.
Yeah. But
how does that work?
They didn't even acknowledge the fact that Jasper was secretly a mutant. It's crazy. But But then Alan Moore wrote Miracle Man, which was about superheroes being huge rapists.
Yeah.
And he wrote V for Vendetta, which was Gamers Rise Up. And he wrote Supreme with Rob Liefeld, which to my understanding was like the last real good superhero comic he did. And was basically one big apology for Watchmen. With Rob Liefeld, too. The fucking progenitors of the edgy age of comics making a comic that is apologizing for the age of edge. Say that 5 times fast.
I've got to assume that freaking the protagonist is Supreme Man and it's just a guy in a freaking like dark gray full-on suit. And instead of eye holes, he just has a large Supreme stamp.
Okay, that was actually... Rob Liefeld made Supreme at first, and that was what he did. But when Alan Moore took over, he legitimately just was like, okay, so we're going to make this character into the most transparent Superman copy possible. And credit where credit is due, it's the most idealistic Alan Moore comic, supposedly. He just makes it a big thing about how much he loves classic Superman. That's the weird thing about Alan Moore I've never understood. I've never seen a guy who is more about, like, the dirt and grime of society and perversion and all that. But at the same time, he's a guy who genuinely believes in the idea of an unironic, completely heroic Superman, you know?
Yeah.
What's the other example of a writer who is like that? Garth Ennis. He's in the same category as Garth Ennis. I've told you guys about Garth Ennis before, right?
I think so, yeah.
That is the weirdest shit. But then Alan Moore did what he did. What was the name of the porn comic he did? Was it Lost Girls?
Yes.
Which, like, to my understanding, was half rape porn, which, yeah, even when Alan Moore was writing good comics, there was still a rape scene in every fucking story he did outside of those two Superman stories. Watchmen, there's a rape. Comedian rapes Silk Spectre. Killing Joke. Alan Moore did confirm Joker didn't rape Barbara, but he also confirmed that the circus dwarfs did rape Jim Gordon. Which, that changes that scene a lot, doesn't it? That changes both of those scenes. V for Vendetta has a... oh shit, I've never actually read the V for Vendetta comic. You know what, I'm gonna shut up before I put my foot in my mouth there. And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was half just rape the comic. And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is like one of those comics where, like, on some level, I really love it. Like, the concept is amazing. Assembling an Avengers team in like 1910.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. And at first, yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was a pretty fun comic. But as it goes forward, and eventually it just turns into, like, Alan Moore. I want to point out the irony of it, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Because from the beginning, it was like Alan Moore talking about how, well, you know, the old days weren't entirely perfect. You know, we got our heroes here. We got Alan Quatermain, who's, you know, big Mr. White Savior of Africa, right? But his whole thing is he's also a opium addict and doesn't know how to function if he isn't in a fight. We have Mina Harker, who is a genuinely clever woman who is a great leader, but because the times are wildly sexist, no one's willing to respect her. Or Captain Nemo, who is a great captain and an honorable man, but he also fucking hates England because it's 1910. Of course he does. So at first it was a comic of, like, yeah, there were some good things about the old days, but it wasn't all perfect. You know, there were some serious bad things too. And then it moves on to, man, I hate kids. It turns into old man yells at clouds. Because you guys know about what he did in the later comics, right?
No.
It becomes a rag about just shitting on James Bond and Harry Potter because Alan Moore thought they were perversions of British culture.
Oh.
So, James Bond for him is a huge, rampant sexist, which is accurate to the original movies, I should note, but also a gigantic rapist and, like, drug addict who is pathetic, never actually gets anything done, and takes all the credit for things that actual good heroes do. And I'm a little bit willing to move past that, because, I mean, some of the original Bonds were shit heels. But then he made his version of Harry Potter, who is the literal Antichrist, has a swastika carved into his forehead like fucking Charlie Manson, rapes and murders all of Hogwarts, and yeah, I don't think I need to go any further. That's his idea of Harry Potter, a rapist, neo-Nazi Antichrist, school shooter, who then gets killed by Mary Poppins.
Incredible.
Because in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen universe, Mary Poppins is God. I'm not joking.
Mary Poppins flies in. She presses a button on the umbrella. It turns into an SMG. She has a Mary Poppins, y'all. She's popping Harry Potter.
She just has a smite button on her umbrella, and Harry gets struck by lightning. Horde of locusts. It just shoots locusts out of the umbrella.
She has a smite button on her umbrella. She presses it, and then Loki freaking teleports to Harry's back.
Oh, God. I mean, I'm glad Alan Moore's retiring. I don't want to know what else he would write going forward. And God bless the old bastard, he's probably sick of it. He's been vocal about how much he hates modern comics, so, I mean, by all means, nobody's gonna really stop him.
Yep.
Would I like to see him do one last good old-fashioned heartwarming story of, like, classic Superman or something? Sure. Do I think he has the capacity in him for that? Maybe. Do I think he wants to do it? No. I don't know, maybe he'll move on to making movies or something. I think he said that's what he wanted to do now, make movies. I mean, I wonder, he probably doesn't have royalties from V for Vendetta or Watchmen, does he?
Probably not.
Okay, yeah, then he probably doesn't have that much money.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if he's got royalties from V for Vendetta and Watchmen, he's probably got all of the money, so he could do whatever he wants.
Unfortunately, probably not.
No. LOL no, says DC. Alright. Hey, so, next big update for Overwatch is adding something called Roll Queue. Basically, well, my basic understanding of the system, I had to tune out of I tried to watch the whole developer update. I can't stand that Jeff Kaplan guy. His voice just kills me. His way of speech kills me. I can't stand how he patterns it. You know? Like, there's got to be a developer in the office that has more charisma. There has to be a community manager. Like, this is the best
you
you
would
can do.
think there probably is, but
is it
I don't know what their deal is with that.
Is this one of those things where people think it's more honest if it's the lead developer talking?
Probably.
I mean, whether or not it comes from the horse's mouth doesn't really change it.
Right.
Yeah.
People just in general nowadays don't really enjoy community managers. They don't want to feel managed.
Oh, God forbid. Right, I forgot. Community managers, another sign of the corporate overlord conspiracy.
No, we need to pass that. We need to go to Ubisoft way. We need to be community developed. That's actually what they call community managers, by the way, community developers, or at least the lead community managers, anyway.
They make the community out of clay, like Wonder Woman.
Yes. No, they write the code for the community and they send it to God in a freaking bottle.
God sends them back the bug notes.
Yeah.
It just falls out of the sky in another bottle. Alright, so, hey, Pink's probably going to have to explain more in depth because he's probably understanding this better. But Roll Queue basically is, from now on, there will be one classic queue that will play as Overwatch always has. Other than that, every queue you will now, when you queue up, you'll pick offense, defense, or support, and you'll be stuck in that role for the entire game. While you can still change the characters within that role you will be stuck within your role. So if you pick tank, your only choices once you actually get into game will be Reinhardt, Winston, Diva, the like. And if you want
Right.
to change characters mid-match, you can only change to another one of those tanks.
Yes.
And this is supposed to... I assume this is supposed to curb Widowmaker spam, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to do a lot of things. It will... Widowmaker spam isn't quite a problem, because you
Hanzo.
can't select the same hero multiple times over. There's one individual hero now.
Excuse me, sniper spam.
Yes.
Widowmaker or Hanzo.
I thought you might be saying that, but I was like, I don't know. Let me just make sure.
My brain
But
turned
yeah,
off
you
for a
can't.
second.
Yeah, you can't do any sniper spams. Nothing ridiculous like that. This will.
I'm sorry, Pink. What'd you say? You tuned out. Pink? Pink? Pink!
Oh no, the freaking Jeff
Discord
Kepka got
decided
to
to turn
him.
me off for a second there.
Okay, you got left off almost immediately after I had finished talking about correcting myself on the snipers thing.
All right. Yeah, but this roll queue is designed to prevent stuff like that sniper spam from happening. It will prevent like teams of like 4 tanks and 2 healers from happening. It's trying to self-balance itself. So no longer will we have teams of a bunch of tanks and DPS running around.
But like,
Every role is now mandatory, so you can't go all DPS.
okay, but I got a question. Why do this instead of simply nerfing tanks?
Because I think the reason they're doing this instead of balancing the heroes themselves is because they're putting too much stock into their pro league. I think the decision here is based entirely on their esports scene, to be quite honest.
Okay, is this one of those things where they're like, they want to keep the game balanced for competitive, but balancing for competitive is different from balancing for casual?
Yes.
So in the competitive league, tanks are perfectly balanced, but in casual, they're not balanced at all.
In the competitive league, I want to say tanks actually aren't balanced. Because I think competitively, we've been seeing teams of like 3 tanks, a Brigitte, and
Brigitte, of course.
yeah, and maybe like a Mercy or Lucio. Because DPSs have fallen off the map almost entirely in Overwatch competitive, if I recall.
Even McCree, the notorious tank killer?
Even McCree.
Okay, when no one's picking McCree, if the comp is all tanks and no one picks McCree, that's bad.
Yeah.
Because McCree, I remember playing McCree way back when I actually bothered to play Overwatch, way back in 2016. And McCree was the tank killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a well-established thing. Like, oh, well, they got a Reinhardt and a Mercy camping on him. I'll just go behind him and shove my gun up his ass and fan the hammer.
You know what this game needs to survive?
What?
Junkrat buff.
Junkrat buff. I mean, a defensive character who isn't a tank... Wait, did they get rid of the defensive class? They did!
They got rid of the defensive class. It's now offensive... Or no, what do they call it?
Damage?
Yes, damage, tank, and support.
Okay. I still think that's a good choice, particularly because there are lots of characters on the defense side, like Junkrat and Widowmaker and Hanzo, who fit just as well, if not better, on the offense side, you know? Like, fucking Hanzo with his parkour shit, being able to go anywhere on the map he wants. Of course that character's gonna be good on offense.
Yep.
And Junkrat with the mind jumps, which, were the mind jumps still pretty strong? I get confused if I'm, like, conflating Overwatch with TF2 now.
No.
Which, oh boy, Overwatch not doing so well. Time to go back to Team Fortress. Yay. Or at least that's how me and Addy are doing it. So, I gotta... Obviously, there's two sides to this issue. On one hand, this will prevent, like, spam of specific classes. And, you know, that's good, because, like, anyone who's been playing since, like, TF2 knows. Like, oh, well, all spies. Okay. Yeah, great. Yeah, they'll just shoot their teammates. What's your plan here? Oh, right. Oh, you think you're a badass because you're a spy. I forgot. But at the same time, for a game that already had, to my understanding, a quite rigid meta, this is only going to make it worse. Won't it?
Right.
Because they're just going to figure out which damage guys are the best and just stick with them.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
If anything, this will cause the meta to stagnate even more than it already has, which is a very bad thing.
Okay. Knowing how the build is all about keeping the tanks, right?
Right.
Are the only damage characters people are going to pick now just going to be 76? Because 76 is a pseudo healer.
Could be. If they were to buff Reaper, which I think they did recently, but I'm not sure, maybe he could come into play a bit more often.
Reaper can work because he can get the healers, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Reaper ain't gonna do shit to the tanks, that's for certain.
He can take a good chunk off the tanks, and because he's got that self-heal now, with the damage it does, the lifesteal, I think that gives him more survivability against tanks, so even if he's not able to kill a tank, he can still unload all his shotguns into the tank and get back a good chunk of health before he has to run away.
Okay, we keep saying the word tank, but I assume when we say tank, we mean Reinhardt. And who else do they even pick for tanks?
D.Va.
D.Va, that makes sense, because she also has a fucking shield.
Yep.
I assume there's no picks for Winston?
You actually get Winston's a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember at launch,
Yeah.
Winston was one of the most underpicked characters in the game.
Yeah,
also
because
has a
Winston
shield.
sucked at launch.
Yeah, he kind of did. Ah, I miss
Yeah.
my gorilla boy.
Yeah,
It was just too
Winston's
good
a
being
lot
a
more
tank that could
common
jump
now.
across the entire map.
I miss suicide bombing a small Korean girl.
Ah,
The only way to play Diva.
the only.
Indeed.
I remember when launched. I remember at launch D.Va's fucking range on that explosive. That was some shit like.
I don't think she could ever actually escape the blast zone herself, which
Not unless
which
she
was
used her
even worse
jump
at the
jets.
time because that would actually damage her as well.
I have fond memories of just being somewhere in the map and I suddenly drop dead and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, I see the kill cam and I was just like, oh, obviously, D.Va. Oh, God. How long has it been since you last played Overwatch, Pink?
About 2 months ago.
Okay. Are you in favor of this or are you against it?
I'm in favor of it for ranked. But anything else aside from that, they can do whatever they want to ranked to make it as competitive as they want. I don't mind. Forcing this on quick play, I think it's a bad decision. Because like I was saying earlier, this just stagnates meta even further.
There is classic quick play, but will it not be hidden in the back of the menu so people can't
It
reach
will be hidden in the back of the menus in the arcade section.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, they had to hide it. There we go.
Yeah. So, like, the option is still there. I don't know how much of a player base it will accumulate. But I guess I know where I'm going henceforth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once this actually drops, I'll try it and see if it's any good. But at the moment, I'm firmly against it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure here. Like, I think over at TF2, like, TF2 in public lobbies, it's anything fucking goes. Teams can be anywhere from, like, 4 players to, I don't know, 12 players, and you can pick whatever class you want, how many of each class you want. If you face a team of 12 engineers, you don't know what you're in for, brother, let me tell you. But on the competitive side, I think there were only 2 modes. Basic competitive was legitimately like 6 players, and I think the guaranteed build was always like 2 demo men, 2 soldiers, I want to say, a scout and a medic. And there was Highlander competitive where you had 2 teams of 9, and each class only had 1 player. which obviously the latter definitely would not work in Overwatch. Because, I mean, you're not going to have a 24-player team. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be fucking anarchy. Everything's exploding all the time. But the idea of them just cutting the shit and being like, okay, fuck you, here's the meta. Imagine if a new Overwatch mode was launched, a new competitive Overwatch mode was launched, where there just had to be a Reinhardt, and there had to be a Brigitte.
Yeah, here's your role queue. You can select from offense, support, Reinhardt, Brigitte.
My favorite class, Reinhardt.
There's just a Reinhardt queue.
They should fucking do that. Because every team picks Reinhardt anyways, so just do
it. Yeah.
No, the
So
Reinhardt queue is when all of the teams are Reinhardt. There's no other character but Reinhardt.
Well, then you're just playing chivalry.
Yeah. No, you're playing Mordhau. Mordhau, get with the times, old man.
I prefer not to talk about Mordhau, because Mordhau, to my understanding, has more of a iffy player base.
I don't know. I just know that a lot of people went like, do you not like For Honor anymore? Buy Mordhau, because obviously everyone plays For Honor on PC.
Everyone plays For Honor on PC, everyone likes first-person melee.
Yeah.
Without fighting game systems like fucking high-low mix-ups. Or unblockables, or command grabs. Or really, it's... Okay, I haven't seen any footage of Mordhau, honestly, so... I'm just assuming you can't have fucking command grabs and high-low mix-ups in a first-person game.
Well, I've seen small amounts of freaking gameplay of it, and I've also played Chivalry a bit. And from what I remember, it's like Jedi Knight, where how you look is how you strike, or something like that.
Oh, a physics-based fighting game. That'll turn out well.
Like it's like if you look into the sky and then you look down on their shoes, then you do a freaking downward strike from the skies, or something like that. But I don't remember.
Okay, that sounds really dumb. My eyes should not I feel like my eyes should not control my arms in a melee fight like that. If I want to keep looking at my opponent, I should keep looking at my opponent.
I think if you didn't do this cause then I think it just did random swings, because why not? And then everything was able to be blocked.
Ha!
Which is why people, from what I gather of people complaining about how Chivalry turned out, what happened is that everyone was walking around blocking, so the only viable way to actually attack people was the blade, which is to say that they turned up their mouse sensitivity up the freaking goat's ass. They started spinning infinitely, and then just freaking like charge heavies.
At that point, they just become fucking a League of Legends character. Spin to win.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm imagining them all just fucking batting off each other like Beyblades, you know? And they smack into the walls into each other and all that shit. I wish Beyblades hadn't become a dank meme so that it wouldn't be relevant ever again. Anyway,
I liked Beyblades when I was 5.
See, I was already into Transformers by then, so I would have just been into toys that looked like people, vaguely.
I never liked Transformers. I have a weird
robots,
freaking.
Fuck you.
I have a weird dislike of giant robots. Because I like Power Rangers that also had giant robots, but there were people inside of them. I guess I don't know what the difference
If
for me
there's a
was.
person inside the giant robot, it's okay. So a mech. That's the difference maker for you?
No, because I don't even like mechs.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how I like Power Rangers and not Transformers.
I mean,
Because it's the same thing. Yeah.
I haven't watched Power Rangers since I was like 2 years old. I have vague memories of classic Power Rangers. But don't they get out of the robots all the time and fight just on foot with like swords and shit?
But I watched freaking Mystic Power, and in that it was always a thing of, okay, so they are these knights from like the medieval ages, or at least that's their gimmick, and then they get beaten, and then they basically nearly die, and they're like, oh right, we have a gigantic robot, so they call it a gigantic robot, and then kill the people.
The classic Dragon Ball problem of why not just start with a spirit bomb?
Yeah.
Oh man. What was I going to say? I guess we'll move on to Avengers. I don't know. I feel like there could be something else to say about Overwatch. But like, for my part, I'd want them to just actually balance the game, because I want there to be weirdo builds.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. But, I mean, how many characters are they planning on adding to the game?
Who knows? It's like... It's hard to say, and on top of that, they release characters so far apart from each other.
It's actually way less than I was expecting, you know? Because since launch, how many characters have been added? Only like 6, 7?
Yeah, probably less than 10.
Yeah, because this most recent is still Baptiste, right?
Correct.
Which is crazy, because they added Baptiste forever ago.
Yeah.
And I still haven't played him.
Yeah,
I've never even seen gameplay footage of him.
From what I remember, he was nothing of note.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what. When I looked at him, I was like, oh, he's 76, but more healing, less shooty. Yeah, I guess we'll move on to Avengers, unless Pink, you got any closing statements?
break the meta. The end.
Break the mother?
Break the meta.
Okay, you said break the mudda, and it sounded like an Italian way of saying break the mother. Joe Pesci over here.
Break the all mother hero.
You gotta wonder what the mother did to the Italian mob.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you!
Alright, there we go. Hey, so, gameplay demo footage leaked of Marvel's Avengers, because Square is still trying to hide this game, even though it doesn't look bad. They're kind of trying to stick with the stupid modern strategy, the modern kayfabe strategy of, like, set it up with light security so it'll get leaked, you know? Because people are more likely to pay attention to leaks. This is having the reverse problem, though. Since it's all shitty phone camera footage, it makes the game look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And for another thing, them being so secretive about it is making everybody worry that it's a shit game.
Yep, absolutely.
Every comment batch you go to is like, I don't like that they aren't talking about this. This game's gonna suck. And it's building up to where, like, when you actually look at the footage of this game, the game does look pretty good. But people have been wanting it and expecting and wanting it to suck for so long now that they're like, oh, well, clearly this is wrong.
Right.
And, like, there's some stuff that, like, yeah, it's perfectly valid criticism. Like, some people are saying, yeah, it's a little too slow. And, yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I think
they're doing everything in slow motion.
This game could definitely stand to be sped up. And a large part of, supposedly, why they're hiding it is because the game has frame rate issues, right?
I believe it, yeah.
And the frame rate issues aren't too bad here, but this looks like canned footage, so it'd probably be pretty easy to even out just simply by gluing 5 computer rigs together. But, I mean, the gameplay definitely looks a little too slow. Like, I get that they hired the God of War PS4 gameplay designer for this, by the way, which... Addy, did you watch the Avengers clip for Thor?
Yes.
Yeah, Thor just looks like Kratos, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just Kratos with the ability to fly. But I think the game could stand to be faster and to have more crazy, like, air combo shit. But I can't deny that it does look like it has good combo structure. It looks like there are elements of character action here. And a character action Avengers game, I am all in, even if it's fucking slow. I could not be more all in on that. And, like, we only get to see it for a little bit. And this is always the problem with game demos, is you don't know if they got the worst guy in the office to play the game. Because there's a little bit, I don't know if you guys noticed, Thor's got a separate moveset depending on whether or not he's carrying Mjolnir. I like that. Like, did you guys, Pink, are you dead? Pink?
Pink is probably dead, yeah.
Yeah, because I was expecting Pink to commentate at some point here. So, yeah, Pink, did you notice that Thor's got a different moveset depending on whether or not he's got Mjolnir?
I did not.
So there's a part in the fight where he pins a guy to the wall with Mjolnir and it just stays there. And he starts fighting hand-to-hand with Thor. And he only uses the same combo over and over. But still, they included the Kratos thing of having, like, Mjolnir is just going to be the Leviathan axe from God of War 4. Straight up.
Yeah.
Which I like. That's a great... They should just totally do that. They should totally just rip that. Because everyone and their mother that played God of War 4 with the Leviathan axe was like, yeah, this just feels like I'm playing as Thor. And I'm never not going to love, like, him abusing Mjolnir's magic can't be lifted bullshit for stuff like pinning people to walls. That's always going to be great. And there does look like there's going to be launchers and slight air combos, and it's going to be a little awkward because the characters fly, and that's always... Air combat with flying characters is always awkward. And I mean, Iron Man looked a little sluggish with some of his ranged moves, though I don't know if they just had a really low sensitivity setting. Or if they're slowing it down so that you could see the special effects graphics. Oh god, they probably did that, didn't they? Oh, that'd be really dumb if they did, but they probably did that. The issue that people presented that I absolutely completely understand both sides on is the people being like, Thor should not punch a guy and the guy lives.
Right.
Thor should not punch a human and the human keeps fighting. Now, we don't get to see the whole story here. They could just be like, oh yeah, Taskmaster had all these guys drugged up. In which case, yeah, I'll totally accept that. Fuck it. They're on the superhuman drugs. I don't know. Give them mutant... what was it called? MGH? Mutant growth hormone?
Yes, mutant growth hormone.
Yeah, just load them all up on mutant growth hormone. Who gives a fuck? Say that the ones that Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man are fighting are loaded up on mutant growth hormone, but not the ones Black Widow are fighting. Black Widow specifically only gets the ones that don't have MGH. But, you know, I also kind of get, like, it's the old issue Marvel Ultimate Alliance had, right? Where Daredevil can beat up someone just as well as Silver Surfer can.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, obviously that Daredevil is more powerful than Surfer.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine Surfer being even anywhere near on Daredevil's level? The galaxy would be fucked, just like Hell's Kitchen is. The gameplay does look really good. I feel like if they're smart, they'll speed it up. And maybe they'll make it a bit more of cases where characters like Thor and Hulk can just fucking nuke human enemies without an issue. But I gotta say, the most confusing part here, they said they're gonna keep adding more heroes to the game. But this looks like a character action type game. Character action type games are quite intricate with their character designs and their combo structures and their general gameplay designs. Like, for them to add 3 new characters to Devil May Cry 4, they made an entire new edition of Devil May Cry 4. You didn't buy them as DLC, they weren't added as free updates, you had to buy another copy of Devil May Cry 4, Special Edition.
Right.
And, like, these characters resemble Kratos from God of War 4, and Kratos was excellently built and animated in God of War 4. Like, Addy, would you say Kratos in God of War 4 is probably the best animated player character you've seen in a game yet?
I don't know about that.
But he's up there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it would require so much work to make each individual character. I don't see how they could just keep adding characters other than, like, if they said that, but all they meant was, oh yeah, at some point we'll get around to adding Hawkeye and Ant-Man, and that's probably it.
Right.
Ant-Man will have a really hard input, and if you input it correctly, then Ant-Man climbs into the people's asses and blows them up from inside.
Ha! Okay, Addy, you're gonna love this. I can't bring it up right now. I don't even remember where I found it. But have you ever seen the actual GIF someone made where they tried to use CG to make Ant-Man clip of Ant-Man going up Thanos' ass and then expanding?
No, because I thought that was the shittiest meme.
Okay, someone made an actually pretty decent quality GIF of CG models of Ant-Man and Thanos. Ant-Man going up Thanos' ass and killing him by exploding. And now someone has done the reverse. Thanos uses the Space Stone to shrink and go inside Ant-Man's ass and kill him from the inside.
Oh boy.
And the meme just gets stupider even though we're well past Endgame. I'm still on the side saying that Thanos' asshole is too tough. I'm still on the side of if Ant-Man tries to do it, all we're gonna see is Ant-Man soup falling out of Thanos' ass.
I'm still on the side saying that we should move into better memes because we're lacking in them now.
Oh yeah, we moved on to Area 51 raid. I forgot.
No, I'm saying better memes.
No, I'm not saying better memes.
One. But I'm saying we should move on to better memes, not worse ones.
No, it's only gonna get worse from here, Addy. The internet's fascination with crap will not end. It will just keep going. Until eventually humanity will nuke itself for the memeticness of how stupid it would be for us to nuke ourselves. One day, humanity will nuke itself, ironically.
Yeah, probably.
And we'll take pictures of the launch and we'll add text above it that says, "Lol, I want to die. Lol, me IRL." And then we'll throw some smiley faces and a couple hundreds on top of it, Anyways, back to Avengers. So, of course, a lot of people are complaining about this being a corridor shooter here. Which, yeah, valid, but this is the tutorial. This is kind of the issue where I feel like, especially considering there's pretty much still a whole year before this game comes out, and there's going to be a lot of fine-tuning, and we're only being shown the tutorial, it's still really difficult so far to gauge where this game's going to be.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be so difficult if Square wasn't being gigantic idiots about this. Now, God forbid I suggest the developers of every Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider game to have come out in the last 10 years. God forbid I suggest that they might be incompetent at game publishing. But I think they might be incompetent at game publishing.
I think you might be right. You might be onto something here.
Addy, we're gonna need the expert opinion here. Do you think that Square is incompetent at game publishing?
Well, they didn't fund Sleeping Dogs 2, so definitely.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs was the only good IP they had, and they wanted to turn it into an MMO. They suck.
How the hell could a game publisher continue without Wei Shin, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good old Wei Shin, motherfucker. Alright. Addy, what's coming out on the channel?
Right. I actually have it up. I just need to open the window. Give me a sec. Right. So, on Monday, people will see the first episode of Ninja Gaiden Black.
Ooh. I'm excited for that one.
I post all the videos in the freaking Discord so y'all can watch it. Right. And you never do.
Right, but I'm usually busy when you do that. But I'll check my subscription feed when I have free time and I'll be like, ooh, a video we recorded, and I'll watch it.
There was a nearly 1 month long freaking period where it was available in the Discord. Whatever.
Dude, when I'm like, oh, I've got free time, I don't go and check our own Discord.
But yeah, aside from that, on Friday, people can see Fallout 76.
Yeah, we actually had more fun than we expected, but less than we hoped.
Disagreed. I had less fun than I expected and less than I hoped.
You weren't expecting any fun.
True. I was still disappointed.
There must have been at least one moment where you enjoyed yourself a little bit.
No.
When we were fighting the ghouls in the town?
No, because you two left me alone to die.
Mothman?
No, because
You
I
didn't
was on
enjoy
my way.
Mothman?
No, because I was freaking in the middle of the freaking road trying to actually do a mission, and you two were jerking off Mothman.
You did not enjoy any of his delicious eggs.
No.
I am disappointed. So that's what's coming out on the channel, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. So, Addy, what do you got coming on your own channel?
Right. So I actually forgot to release the Naruto video, so that's
Yeah.
for one on the second channel. On the other channel, the main channel, yes, the other channel.
Yeah.
The one channel that I've actually watched.
Ha.
Yeah, on that one, I'm working on a Silent Hill review, so hopefully I'll be able to do that and release it.
Sweet. Are you playing through Silent Hill 2 again to do the review, or are you just gonna...
Hell no.
Okay. And you won't get the chainsaw, you sad bastard.
I don't give a shit. I barely remember. Like, I actually don't think that I wrote like half of the things in the game into the script because I don't remember them. But I don't know. I can't be sure.
So clearly this will be the most quality review.
I always write them from review. All of my reviews are quality. Or write them from memory, right?
You write them from review.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Bloody
copy
hell.
other people's reviews.
Yeah.
Like that guy at IGN.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I always write the reviews from memory, so that's why I usually don't wait a lot of time until I review something. But I didn't have the drive to do anything, so I was like, Silent Hill.
See me, I can't barely remember shit for the podcast.
Yeah, and meanwhile I'm trying to freaking remember like minuscule details that I liked and disliked, and it never happens.
My long-term memory, great. My short-term memory, fucked.
My memory whatsoever, not good at all.
It's that weird thing, like, Soon has played through all of the Dragon Age games, and he has played through each of the Dragon Age games multiple times. I have played through Dragon Age Inquisition once. I can remember Dragon Age Inquisition better than Soon can. I can remember Dragon Age lore better than Soon can. I don't understand it. But at the same time, I can't remember what I fucking played this week.
But you do remember that you played Dragon Age Inquisition several years ago. And you remember the exact detail 10 minutes into the game.
Oh yeah, the Canary, they have weird gender standards. If you're a woman who wants to do, like, male jobs, then they just tell you, okay, you're a man now. So if you're a Canary woman who wants to be a woman but is also a soldier, then they're like, no, fuck off, you're a man now.
I mean, I guess that's an interesting take. I guess.
Oh yeah, Dragon Age, like, I can't get into Dragon Age Origins because it's just so old and jank of an RPG. And Inquisition's gameplay is a little too Skyrim-y, but the lore is good. The lore is fine. It does some different, interesting stuff with typical fantasy tropes. I mean, in Dragon Age, there are a lot of dwarves who don't have beards. There are a lot of dwarves who are clean-shaven.
Also,
How's that possible?
That's why I dislike that game then.
And the crazy thing, so the humans typically either have English or French accents. The elves are Celtic. And you know what accent the dwarves have?
What?
American. Yeah, just the dwarves are American. I love it. Obviously, because all Americans, as we know, me and Pink right here are sitting deep in our mountain fortresses. We gotta watch out. Every now and then goblins sneak in to steal our food. We gotta stick them with a spear.
Yep. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep. Anyways, Pink, what's coming on your channel?
Alright. don't know. I might not have anything.
It's a surprise.
Yeah. It's always something I got in the back
It's a-
somewhere.
It's a secret to everyone.
Yeah.
This,
Even to me.
this week's uploads are a mystery box. What's inside the mystery box? Oh, this week it's nothing.
Surprise!
Imagine if they just sent you a loot box and it just contained
Was-
nothing.
I was about to say, welcome to microtransactions YouTube.
I'm not even talking about video game loot boxes. I'm talking about those real life mail order loot boxes. You know the ones?
Yeah, loot's great.
Yeah. You just pop it up and it's air.
I mean, sometimes it might as well be. In fact, I'm pretty sure Ashens was they once gave out like an inflatable crown, and Ashens complained, so he sent him a box full of inflatable crowns, and he's still giving out inflatable crowns for free.
Huh. I mean, those loot crate things always work on the basis of like each loot crate they send you is an individual franchise, right?
No, no, not
Don't
a
they
franchise.
have, like,
It's
this week we'll be sending out Game of Thrones stuff. This week we'll be sending out
No.
Star Wars stuff.
no. They usually have teams, so it's like friendship, and it's like they will send you freaking, I don't know, Star Trek shit because Kirk and Spock are friends.
Milo
And,
Planet,
like-
I assume.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just pulling shit out
Yeah.
of my ass. It's like Naruto, because obviously we need to pander to the weeps.
When my dad was getting loot boxes way back when, and I don't know if he still gets them or not, but yeah, it always ran with a theme, not a specific, not like a specific. What's
A
the word I'm
specific
looking for?
franchise.
Franchise. There we go. Not a specific franchise, but just a general theme.
I mean,
So he would get a lot of crap that he didn't have any clue as to what it was, or a lot of stuff that he didn't have any use for. Like,
but
I think
Yeah.
we've got like Game of Thrones merchandise stuff from that type of thing that, none of us in the household ever watched Game of Thrones. I don't think anyone else has to this very day. But so I think he did cancel his basic loot box subscription a long time ago, and I think he only gets to see Marvel loot boxes nowadays.
But-
Okay.
But yeah, there are franchise-specific loot crates, but they're separate from the normal subscription. You have to order them separately, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. Very weird. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's what's going to be coming out on the channels this week. Pink, what you been up to this week, man?
All right, what have I been up to? Let's see.
challenge.
What's that?
The challenge.
A challenge. I don't remember what was the challenge.
No, you've been up to the challenge.
I'm always up to the challenge.
Were you
Yeah,
up to
I
the
did a lot
challenge
of stuff with
Horsey
you
Boy?
guys. What's that?
I said, were you up to the challenge of Horsey Boy?
I don't even know what that is, but yeah, because I'm always up for a challenge.
We
Dave,
record
it's
Ninja
Dave.
Gaiden- We did record.
Oh, Dave!
We did record Ninja Gaiden this week, right? I'm not going crazy.
Yes.
We probably recorded it on the Sunday after the podcast, but still this week.
Yeah.
Technically this week, because we work on freaking financial calendars or whatever they're called, where Q4 2019 is actually 2020. We work like that.
Yeah.
As one does. So, yeah, we've been recording a shit ton this past week.
Yep.
And
So what all did we even record this week? It was Ninja Gaiden, Borderlands, Halo something,
Halo Wars.
Halo Wars.
Dead Rising 4, Zoo Tycoon, and
Yeah.
I think that's
Dead
all
Rising
you were there.
2.
I think that's all you were there for. And then me and Addie
Yeah.
recorded Dead Rising 2. Oh, whoops, burp, sorry. And Dota.
Barf.
Barf. Yeah, I'm a fucking minion from River City Ransom now. Yeah, we recorded Dota 2 and Dead Rising 2 without you.
Dota 2?
Dota 2!
Oh man.
Oh man.
I look forward to seeing how that turned out.
Quite well, actually.
Ah, very nice.
I now made the most freaking the complex mage in the game.
Of course you do, Addy. Of course you do.
Remember Ingredient Mage? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's my man.
Perfect.
And he uses 2 spells.
Yeah.
Is Dota 2 the one that you start off with everyone, or is that
Everyone,
Got it.
yes.
all right? Perfect.
I love when we started that recording, and I could, as soon as Eddie looked at the roster screen, I pretty much could hear him mentally going, fuck. Congrats, you now have all of the choices. Good luck, nerd. Like, I've probably played like 15 matches by this point, and I've still not even cracked the surface of that roster. It's nuts. And like, some of the characters are a little conventional. Sven's very conventional. But then, I pick up Tree Ant Protector, and I'm like, oh my god, this character's the weirdest. This character, Tree Ant Protector. So Dota 2 doesn't have walls like Smite or League, right? It has trees. Which, the trees can be broken down by certain items, and you can just walk through certain paths in the trees if you can find them.
They're also edible.
Yeah. And then there's a character, Tree Ant Protector, who his first ability, if he is in the vicinity of a tree, he can activate it. And upon activating, he turns invisible, he gains the ability to walk through other trees, which means that he can just fucking walk through walls, doesn't even give a shit. The next time he hits an enemy, as long as he's still invisible, they get rooted, and also the ability stays active as long as he's close to a tree. So, you can just permanently stay invisible the entire game if you stay next to the trees. It was great with me and Addy. Like, there's a part where we got into the enemy base, but they were able to shove everyone out, except me, because I hid next to a fucking tree they had in their base. And I just stood there watching them as they came and went.
That's awesome.
And Addy got to play the Shut Up Man.
Yeah, Silencer.
An entire character built around silencing.
Hey, Pink, I got to play a walking silencer.
Incredible.
All he does is he just has an aura where if you kill somebody, they don't appear in the kill feed. Yeah. So
I wish there was a mod for silencers to turn him into just a walking silencer.
There are mods for Dota 2, oddly enough. I don't know if they can do anything that severe, but they add new maps and new game modes. I saw one that was like, I don't know what to say. I think it was 10 on 10. Dota 2 10 on 10. A MOBA 10 on 10 is...
Oh boy.
How does that work?
That's wild.
Like, could you imagine that shit in Smite? Like, oh, we got Zeus, Vulcan, fucking Nuwa, however many people on the same team. You leave the spawn, you die.
Yeah, Jonky, freaking, Almighty Sword. I forget his name.
Apush.
Yeah, Apush. Kukulkan.
No. Almighty Sword was... Oh shit! No, you made me forget his name, asshole.
No, I don't mean him being Apush. I mean Apush separately.
Yeah. Okay.
Apush as well.
Oh shit! What was his name?
Mighty Sword was Ao Kuang, right?
Ao Kuang, right. Yeah, I forgot. So yeah, and considering with Dota 2 the characters are even crazier, like Addy near the end of the game as Silencer, because Silencer's a carry character. Like, Addy, how many AoE debuffs did you have?
All of them.
Yeah. Like,
all of my moves are debuffs, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed.
The Silencer.
I noticed when you would pop all your abilities on a guy, like there'd just be a ton of skulls above his head, like silenced, cursed, muted, weakened, slowed, stunned, rooted,
deleted.
Like he can't even do anything with his controls. He's just stuck.
Yeah, like
you no longer get to play the game. Bye.
If I pop all of my abilities on a person and all they get to do is run, genuinely.
That's awesome. Meanwhile, I was invisible in the trees, just watching like a huge creepo. What's that old picture people use to summarize Siege, where it's just the guy's face staring through the hole?
Oh, you mean the one that I always see use for Naruto memes? The one where the guy is hidden in the cupboard with a gun, and then there's like a SWAT guy next to him looking around.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, but he's wearing a shitty tree costume from like Party City.
Right.
He's wearing a homemade ghillie suit.
Yeah. Oh, that's all kinds of delightful wackiness. That was a strange week of like, we had 2 complete downer games in the form of Dead Rising 4 and Battlefield.
Battlelands.
Battlelands, yeah, Why has no one made a video game named Battlelands? That's actually an awesome name. That's actually good.
Borderfield.
Borderfield. Yes.
Borderfield is freaking Papers, Please.
Yeah. Borderfield, you just play a diplomat who has to argue over like an acre of land.
Yeah.
But other than that, we actually struck a lot of gold.
Yeah. Good week.
We got Zoo Tycoon, and I placed Mini Burb. And the endless horde of polar bears.
The polar bears that were not properly detained.
And being getting ravaged by furries.
I think as soon as we left, the polar bears probably ate the furries, so it's okay. Oh, man. And of course, the new nemesis of the FOS, Chef Antoine.
Antoine, yeah.
Oh, man. I'm halfway tempted to replace my picture on the little Shut Your Mouth Lounge logo that's displaying at all times with just this meme edit you made of Antoine. At this point, though, it'd get confusing. People would be like, who's this new asshole? And
Yeah.
Where'd Alex go? Oh, this guy sounds like a dick.
Chef Antoine made the next dinner.
Oh no! Oh, just get a soundboard and pretend Antoine's on the fucking podcast.
Yeah. Like one of these days we all need to get our meme characters together as a soundboard and have them appear in the podcast. Because why not? Like I'll portray Uller or freaking Junkrat. I don't know. Probably Uller. I think I'm closer with Uller.
I don't know. I think there are even some cases from like games we haven't quite played that much. Like we all know we gotta get like at least one. We'd have to get at least one line of Nightmares saying something about souls.
Yeah. That's gonna be the 100 podcast special. We just get all of our meme characters together, or soundboards, and then have inject them directly into our eye holes.
Into our eye hole. Hang on. That needs explanation. Are you saying into the pupils, or are you saying we remove our eyes and like? Do you realize how big an eye socket is? I think we'd just be dumping the shit on the bottom of our eye sockets, and it'd be sitting there in our bones. Maybe at best those little cables that connect the brain to the eyeballs would sit in them, soak in them, but I don't know. Oh man.
You get a little bit of nightmare juice on your eye freaking connectors, and then instead of where you would see the feed from that eye, you actually see Siegfried freaking yelling.
Oh man. Oh, for another game, we played Halo Wars, which we were all like, "Oh God, this is not gonna be fun," and then it actually was fun.
Right?
And Addy,
Yeah, and
Addy joined the Halo Wars Pro League there at the end.
yeah, we thought that it would not be fun, and then I summoned Capri.
And Kepri fucked me up.
Yeah.
You wrecked us all.
The double Kepri strategy appeared, and no one could stop it. We each got a Kepri. Did you notice that, Pink? We each got one to fuck up our bases.
Yeah.
No, mine didn't get messed up by a Capri.
Oh no, my base got messed up by your Kepri, and Pink got the AI's Kepri.
All right, yeah.
But other than that, did you do anything this past week, Pink?
Pink is dead.
I'll take that as a no. Yeah. Oh god, I'm choking.
Ahem. I did get to watch some more of The Good Place. I think I'm on episode 6 now.
Sweet. I don't exactly remember where episode 6 is. The thing about decompressed storytelling is I forget where episodes are. I just remember the story as a giant collective season.
Yeah. I'll try to finish the season before I bring it up on the podcast again. I will say that we did get to learn about Jason. I thought that was fantastic.
That's awesome.
I kind of had my suspicions from the get-go. So it was kind of a yes, I knew it moment once it happened.
That one was such a great moment because it seemed like John Yu was going to be the go-to like straight man for most of the gags. Particularly considering that he's with Tahani, who is Tahani. So I love the idea. Not only did one person accidentally get into heaven, 2 people accidentally got into heaven at the exact same time.
Yep.
And not one's a pretty good liar, so they're pretty good at hiding it. And then the other one, oh boy, no.
I like how Jason didn't even have the same name. It's like, Eleanor, sure, yeah. Same name, accidents happen. Jason? How did that happen?
Whatever angel was in charge just got confused because they were both Asian. He's like, all right, whatever, close enough. And like the excuse for how he got in on accident is even fucking thinner than it is for Oh, that's a good series. I need to go and finish season 3, but like I'm stuck on like my sister is waffling because she wasn't there to watch the first 2 seasons, but she wants to watch season 3 because it's got Stephen Merchant. So I haven't been able to start on season 3 since I've finished season 2. I really want to go back though. That is a great series. Is that cast not incredible?
The cast is so incredible. Everyone's a star in that show.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. There are no weak spots in that show. All of the characters are good characters, and all of the actors fit the characters amazingly. Like,
Absolutely.
I want to look back and say, like, oh yeah, Chidi's my favorite character, but then I love Michael, but then I love, is her name Elaine? I forget her name all the time.
Eleanor.
I love Eleanor, but I love Tahani. I would probably put Jason as my least favorite, but it's not by far.
Yeah.
The thing is, Jason's character can be kind of annoying sometimes with how much of an idiot and an asshole he is, but at the same time, he gets a lot of the best lines in the series. Like, there's one coming in later in season 1 that I just fucking love, and I can't wait until you get to it. Oh, man. Who would you say is your favorite character so far?
Right now I'm leaning towards Chidi.
Chidi is pretty damn great. Like, Chidi's a great one because, I don't know, it's fascinating to me, this lighthearted comedy, but then they bring in Chidi for, like, serious philosophical discussion, and it's like, well, this show's a little more ambitious than, say, Friends or Seinfeld, isn't it? Oh, that's a great series.
Yep. That show continues to be good. And the other thing I did this week is Ultimate Alliance 3,
Okay,
released
you did pick it up.
yesterday.
You did pick it up.
I did pick it up.
I got spooked. I didn't go in on it because I got spooked by how the ad campaign, like how there hasn't been an ad campaign.
Yeah, I can't blame you whatsoever on that. It was just absolutely abysmal on their part.
So, what I'm really curious here, it's made by Team Ninja, the same people who are behind Ninja Gaiden. Do you notice any resemblance here?
This game is a pain in the ass.
Oh! Has there been horse yet?
No, yes, sort of. Not quite as bad as horse, but yes. There's a boss battle with the Kingpin, and it took us like an entire hour yesterday trying to get through that thing.
Huh. Is the gameplay much crisper? Because that's one thing I was really hopeful for, is like, the first two Marvel Alliances, Ultimate Alliances, didn't have very crisp gameplay. It felt very floaty.
Mm-hmm.
But Ninja Gaiden, like, even Ninja Gaiden with its just ball-busting difficulty, you gotta admit, the gameplay is crisp as hell.
Yeah. And I will say, yeah, Ultimate Alliance 3 definitely has a much more weighty feel to it, which is good.
Would you say that so far you're in favor of the game?
I am absolutely in favor of the game. There are a few very big problems I have with it. Number one being the camera. The camera is absolutely god-awful.
Oh, yeah, because Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, when they had free camera sections, they weren't good.
Yeah, but this is just even worse. I don't know if it's any better on solo run, because I've been playing with my family. But in co-op, the camera it's just not cooperative and during boss fights, it will contort and twist in ways in which it should not. It's not like going underneath the map or anything, but it will be angled so you can't even see the boss you're trying to fight.
Tell me at some point it takes a Dutch angle.
It
goes sideways.
Sideways, yeah. Not that bad, but the camera just causes far too many problems, and it needs to be patched as soon as humanly possible. There are times, like, there will be a health orb on the map sitting adjacent to the wall, but the camera is angled in such a way that it's preventing you from walking up to the wall as best you can. So you can walk toward the health orb. You can't actually touch the health orb because the camera won't allow you to walk any further.
So what you're saying is that
there will basically at several points of the game be health orbs and energy orbs lined up along the sides of the walls or somewhere else where the camera won't let you go, and they'll just be there taunting you.
Yeah,
it's like, oh.
I was about to say, they're laughing at you.
They're laughing at you.
So it's Ninja Gaiden with Marvel characters, is what you're saying.
Yes, not as bad as Ninja Gaiden, but yes.
Okay, but here's the thing I really want to know. Is there actually character variety in this one?
There is so much character variety.
Okay,
and
now
granted,
when I say that, I don't mean like a wide cast of characters who are different in terms of character. I mean in terms of gameplay styles.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I have noticed there are a lot, maybe not a lot. I've only noticed 3 at the moment. There are some characters that will share a power. Because I believe off the top of my head, Star-Lord, Wasp, and Storm can all create a tornado.
Okay, Storm I understand, but how... Maybe Wasp can fly around in circles enough, but why Star-Lord?
Because they went old school and he's wielding his element guns.
Ah, yes.
So all his powers will correspond to, like, an element.
The way they should do it is go with the way Marvel Heroes did it. Marvel Heroes did it, well, it was weird. He could switch between using the dual pistols as per the movies, or he could use the element gun. He could do either.
Right.
Hey, the dog will not stop fucking barking at the cat. Why does he hate the cat so much? The cat just sits there and watches him bark at it. Okay. Pink, keep talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm gonna go tell that dog.
Yeah, no problem. A cool thing they did with this one that was not in the previous two is that in the previous two, all characters, their basic and strong attacks were all melee attacks. In this one, some characters will be all melee attacks, some will be all projectile attacks, and some will have a melee attack as their weak attack, or a projectile as their strong attack. So Captain America, all his basic attacks are melee, but his strong attack will be the projectile and throwing his shield. Thor is the same way, melee weak attacks, and Mjolnir chucking as his strong attack. Crystal, all projectiles, and I want to say who's another one. Iron Man, strangely, is all melee.
Come on. Not you. You're good about this. You don't bark. Come on. Teddy. Oh, no, not Duke. Oh, good.
My Discord broke for a second there.
I brought the puppy in because he can't bark at the cat if he's not in the same room as the cat. But now the big dog, the older dog, Duke, is now feeling lonely without the puppy there to be with him. So now he's whining. I just can't win here.
Winning. Nope.
But yeah, I went out there. The cat is sitting on top of her tower, which is way above the puppy. The puppy is just sitting there barking at him. The cat is not doing anything even slightly offensive to the puppy. And the puppy is just barking at him. Oh God, he's a Yorkie Shih Tzu mix. I don't know if either of you guys have ever had a Yorkie or a Shih Tzu.
I've dealt with Shih Tzus before.
Okay, so I've heard about Yorkies that basically their general behavior is pick me up, put me down, pick me up, put me down. Ah, that's pretty accurate. Holy shit. But anyways, yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. What'd you say while I was away? Just real quick, give me a quick summary so the audience doesn't have to listen through it again.
Quick summary. I was talking about how different characters have different attacks. Some are all melee, some are all projectiles, some are melee and projectiles. And this is not their power set, this is their basic attacks.
That's good, because that's one thing that always bothered me about classic Marvel Ultimate Alliance is having Storm run up and punch people.
Yep. I
can call down lightning. Now come here so I can kick your ass.
I think that's all I was really talking about while you were away.
All right.
Because I want to save the negatives for when you got here.
Okay, let's hear them.
Like, the camera, obviously. Second up, there's no, like, hub base. You know, like in the previous installments, you had the Stark Tower, Doctor Strange's mansion, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
There is no base like that for you to kind of have some downtime. So it never really feels like a good time to just open up the menu and level up all your stats and whatnot.
Can you not just stop after a fight?
You can, but I would often forget. Because it's like, okay, we just finished that, and now the next mission is already starting, so let's go do that.
Ha.
So I would have liked to see... And there are some decent points where you could absolutely stop to adjust your stats and whatnot. I just wish there were a bit more of a stopping point. That way you didn't have to feel that compulsion to keep going. Because there's probably a lot of stuff in the lab that I'm not even completely aware of right now. Because I've just been going so far deep into the story as much as I possibly can. Because we were role playing yesterday, and my sister at one point, because she came over that day, because I don't know, she was doing something with the littlest ones, and she was saying this seems a lot harder than when we were playing at my house. So she was telling me about the lab thing, which apparently A exists and B you can use to upgrade your stats and whatnot.
Oh, well, if you're just... that'll explain why it's difficult, yeah?
Yeah, I had no idea it even existed. I'm like, what the heck is this thing? Oh, I can give our team more health and more strength. I wish I had known about this 2 hours ago.
Making the game harder on yourself.
Yeah. Playing with base level stats, wondering why I'm having such a hard time
Yeah.
as I progress through the story. Yeah.
Is it
Let's
more
see,
RPG or is it more beat 'em up?
It feels a lot more beat 'em up than RPG. I haven't noticed really any RPG elements outside of building your characters.
Okay, that's good, because I think the first two Ultimate Alliances were a little too RPG-y for me. You know?
I thought the first one was fine. The second one I thought was too RPG and handled the RPG very poorly.
But at the same time, Ultimate Alliance 2 only gave you 4 special moves to use. Which would be more beat 'em up-y and less RPG.
True.
Okay, I just used the accelerator to unlock everything in WWE 2K19. Why does Andre have a Tombstone Pile Driver as a signature?
He does?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't understand why. Was the Tombstone Pile Driver even invented in Andre's time?
They're giving everyone who's at a Tombstone Pile Driver to drive home the point.
I guess so. Anyway, keep going. What's another major flaw of the series?
One thing I don't like, there are revives in this game, which, well, let me clarify. I like the fact that there are revives, but you only get 3. I would like the option menu, if you're playing on like a easy mode or whatever, I would like the option menu to have you be able to choose like how many revives you get.
Did you step on that dog?
No. He wanted to be let back out at the same time that I sneezed. I'm going to let him out real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and
no
mention,
problem.
If there are a limited amount of revives, that is probably a deliberate choice for balance by the game.
Absolutely. So with the revives, what I personally want, and regardless of balance, because I don't care about balance, I want an option menu where you can adjust the revives. You can keep it normal, you can add 1, you can add 2, you can add infinite. Just let me adjust it so that when my littlest sister dies because she's like 4 and doesn't know how to play, I don't have to leave her dead because I know she won't contribute anything to the team.
Sorry, sis. We need to conserve these revives for people who matter.
We need to conserve our revives for the heavy hitters. You stay dead for a while.
Meanwhile, I play Blazing Chrome with my 5-year-old niece.
Yeah.
Because my family is freaking sadistic or whatever.
I let the puppy get out and he goes right the fuck back to barking at the cat.
The madman.
Oh my god.
And that's when you get a new
He's
puppy.
committed.
He won't stop.
He can't stop. He's addicted to the shindig.
Yep. So the revives aren't total bummer, and they're not a big flaw. That's just something personally I would like to see changed. Which, if it doesn't, that's a-okay. That's their game. That's their decision. Enemies can sometimes feel way too bullet spongy.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, enemies, the tough ones now have 2 life bars. There's a stagger meter and a normal health meter. As long as the stagger meter is all the way up, you will basically be doing chip damage to the bad guy. Once the stagger meter is depleted, though, all your attacks and powers and whatnot do the, typical amount of damage that they would do. But this is a problem in that the basic minions, the ones with the stagger meters, once you get them staggered, if you don't kill them off right away, they will then regenerate their stagger meter all the way, and you'll have to go through the process all over again. I find that to be a severe design flaw. These minions should not take so friggin' much to put down. Because I'm getting flashbacks of, like, what was it? The legendary difficulty of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, where you're basically depleting your entire energy bar into eliminating one minion, which I find to be absolutely stupid.
Have you found the Green Bomb Ninjas yet?
No.
In Ultimate Alliance 3.
Are Green Bomb Ninjas something from Ninja Gaiden?
Yes. Yes, they like imagine if the freaking right ninjas were even faster and even better with reactions and even better at blocking, but also they had freaking explosive kunai that sticks to you.
That sounds like my own personal
Yeah, that welcome to level 5.
hell.
That's what I had to go through. Those are the things that freaking stumped me for like half an hour.
I believe it.
That is horrifying. Would you say overall? I'm going to wager you'd say the game probably isn't worth $60 unless you expect to put a shit ton of time into it.
Yes. I would say if you're a casual fan of Ultimate Alliance and I don't know, you're somewhat interested, I would say absolutely wait for a sale. $60. No reason to get it right now, definitely. Sometime down the line, absolutely sure if you're interested.
You just said your best joke, Pink. I'll say on a Nintendo console.
What?
A sale
You just
on a
said
Nintendo console.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah, if they plan on patching this game, because they absolutely need to patch that camera, it will add a bit more longevity to the game. But as it stands now, I wouldn't be any rush to go get it.
Good to know.
Yeah, totally something you can wait on.
All right. What else have you done?
I think that's all I've done.
All right. Addy, what you been up to this past week, man?
Alright, so I played through Blazing Chrome twice. So, first time I played through with the normal characters, the people with guns. And if you play through the game once, you unlock the melee characters. Which, in turn, make the game, or at least, well, I played as a ninja because of course. So, unlocking the ninja basically makes it be like, say, Ninja Gaiden from the original NES, or say Strider, which is it's a bit closer to Strider in my opinion than the original Ninja Gaiden, but
Yeah.
So yeah, then I played through the game on normal with freaking Strider, and then I tried hardcore difficulty. So let's rank them. Normal difficulty, also known as easy difficulty in freaking Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, freaking the easy difficulty in this game is what most people will play the game through on, because it gives you not too much help, but enough help to not freaking make you curse God.
You take it out on God.
No, but serious, like the normal difficulty or like the hardcore difficulty. Let's go with that because yeah, the hardcore difficulty of this game is stupid. I know because I tried. I actually played. They have the original arcade version of Control on the PS4. I played through that version of Control on PS4 on the hardest difficulty, and that wasn't as hard as this. But yeah. So, easy difficulty is your normal usually. Normal difficulty takes away the crutches and just goes, okay, you played through the game once before with this help, so this small switch shouldn't be too hard for you to handle. Also, there's like 15 times more enemies, but whatever, you'll handle it.
Yeah. You got this, don't worry.
Yeah, and then hardcore difficulties. So, remember how in the arcades you had credit systems? Yes. Didn't you like those? So, now there's a credit system in the game where you get 3 credits, 3 lives, which means that you can be shot 4 times. And also, if you die completely once, then you start the level all over again. And also, there's no saving, so you have to go through all 6 levels that are like as long as 4 levels of Contra 3, one of them. So yeah, you have to go through all 6 levels without dying. Let's do math. Freaking 12 times.
Oh God.
So yeah, I wasn't able to complete hardcore difficulty because look, I like Contra. I'm not a god at Contra. So yeah, also I think the melee characters are also supposed to be like a lot harder, and I prefer the ninja to the actual gun people because he gets a charge shot that one hit kills everything. That's not like this one type of enemy in the game or a boss. And the one type of enemy that it can't kill in one shot only appears once. Actually, twice, I think. Whatever. Still, you get the point. So yeah, overall, now that I've played through Blazing Chrome, my thoughts. Pretty good game, yes. I wish it had all-time multiplayer. And that's about it.
Alright.
But yeah, because yeah, it has like all of the classic gameplay mechanics as well. Because, you know, as I've said, I played with my niece, and a big part of the original NES culture was if one of the players dies, then they can steal the other players' lives to continue. That's present here as well.
Oh.
Yeah. You probably don't know this because I don't think either of you have played Contra.
Ha.
But I spent like the first freaking 7 years of my life playing Contra, so obviously I would.
Ha.
So yeah, I did that. Then I also played through the newest and last DLC for Odyssey, for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was titled The Fate of The Fate of Atlanta, yeah. The Fate of Atlantis.
Fate of Atlanta.
The Fate of Atlantis, Part 3, The Judgment of Atlantis. So in this, you actually go to Atlantis. Poseidon is not as much of a piece of shit as he usually is, which I don't know if I like. But whatever. I don't know why I hate Poseidon. And I know why I hate Poseidon, but it's like, you know, it shouldn't carry over to other games as well.
I don't know. Poseidon's awesome in Smite, if that's what you're talking about. And
Poseidon sucks in Smite. I hate him.
He's the best. He gets faster.
I hate him. He's the lamest.
Ha.
He's Aquaman.
Ha.
He genuinely is Aquaman. Anyway. Yeah, so instead of, you know, going into more mythology, because we don't actually know a shit ton about Atlantis, I don't think. Well, mythological Atlantis. We know that it didn't in real life, but yeah.
Well, we know Hitler thought that the white people came from there. That wacky Hitler.
Oh man.
So yeah, instead of going with the mythological route, they instead went with the, oh right, we have a freaking modern day story and we have all this lore. Maybe we should use it. Away. So
Boo.
So instead of that, they spent this episode of the DLC, you know, elaborating on the East 2 lore and just going, okay, so here's where this part that you see in the older games came from. Here's Juno. You can't kill her yet, but she is dead. Don't worry. Also, here's Juno's lover, I guess.
Ha.
He was also evil. And things like that. Overall, I actually enjoyed this part of the DLC the most, I think, because I hate ancient times. Well, I don't hate it, but I just don't find it interesting. Hate is a strong word I only reserve for Bastet. But yeah, I feel like this was the most interesting thing about the whole game, actually, just because it elaborates the most on pre-established lore, and it's nice to see that they actually use the lore for something instead of going, ha ha, you like the old games, you freaking asshole.
Dude, you are convinced they are conspiring against you, aren't you?
No, I think that they're just going for the money, but I don't have to like that they're going for the money.
No, you don't have to like that they're going for the money, but when you say, ha ha, you dared to like this, you asshole, it's implying that you think they're conspiring against you. I don't think that they're trying to shit on the old series. I think they're just trying to do something new and different because for years people criticized
No,
the series for
they
being
actually
tired.
they actually said that they're trying to remove all the part of the old games.
I mean, if they're getting rid of the fucking modern day storyline, more power.
No,
to
not
them.
the not the modern day storyline, just the whole being a hooded assassin and the namesake of the series and all that. Like they went
Are you
nobody
sure? Where have you heard this from?
sources.
Sources.
Addy's got sources, man.
So I'm gonna assume
Yeah.
you made this up to suit your own point. All right.
I didn't make it up, but I wasn't able to confirm it. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna think.
Grain of salt.
I'm just gonna say you're full of shit until you prove it. Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, playing through this DLC made me realize how much I freaking am just bored with Odyssey. Because it's like,
It sounds like
well,
you
yeah,
enjoyed the main campaign, but the DLCs just got worse and worse.
no, the issue with the DLCs is that it's just more of the main campaign, and the main campaign, like, I don't actually remember most parts of the main campaign because they were that memorable. So like the main campaign, it was tolerable. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be open minded, and like with the DLCs came, it was just more of, okay, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna talk with person is gonna tell me what to do, and I'm gonna go on a fetch quest, and then once the fetch quest is gone, I'm gonna go and talk with person again, and they're gonna tell me to go kill another person, and I go kill the person, and then I get money that I can't use. I have 300,000 drachmae that I can't use for anything. But yeah, it was like it's not that the DLCs are worse in quality than the main story. Is that the DLC stories are just the same quality and they're just more of the same. And so it's like just having to wait months for more of the same isn't quite enjoyable. But one good part that they did with the DLC and the story and the modern day story actually is from the looks of it, they're starting to turn Layla evil.
Who is Layla?
The new Desmond. She got introduced in Origins. She was an obstacle agent, and then the obstacle tries to killing her and kill her best friend. So she goes, "Okay, I'm an assassin now, I guess." And that's where this game starts.
Why would they introduce a new Desmond?
Because a vocal minority of the diehard fan base was like, the old games were better because they had the modern day, and I mean, eh. I like the thing is, it's weird because
Did you even accomplish anything in the modern day? Like, did you ever get to kill anyone? Because I feel like they were just a bunch of parkour sequences until you got to the next cutscene. Until you got to the next cutscene, until you actually got to play the actual game.
Desmond did to become an assassin in 3, I believe.
Yes, Desmond killed Daniel Cross, I think. So I don't think it was deliberate. He also killed Warren Vidic when you played as him. And then he also sacrificed himself because something supernova, he dead of the universe.
But did you ever get to do this while playing as Desmond, or did this all occur in cutscene? Did
No,
Desmond's gameplay ever mirror that of the actual Assassin's Creed part of the gameplay?
Yes, you actually did get to kill Warren Vidic, the same way as Ezio killed freaking Cesare.
Incredible! I didn't think they ever actually incorporated the modern age type stuff into the actual Assassin stuff. Obviously, I did not ever get very far into any Assassin's Creed.
Yep. I've only managed to get far into 1.
But yeah, so Layla is the new Desmond. She is the one trained to be an assassin, and with this game they added the staff of Hermes No Me Gusta, who it's actually something.
I understand what you're saying. I don't think the people at home will, but yeah, I get what you're trying to say there.
And so basically, to summarize the plot points of the main story that I remember and the DLC together. So Layla finds Atlantis. Layla finds Alexios or Cassandra, depending on who you played, because they're still alive because Steph. Steph is given to Layla. Layla is like, cool. A new issue shows up because freaking why the hell not? We need more of those. Three wasn't enough.
A new what?
Issue.
Isu?
Those who came before. First Civ.
Oh, the
Alien.
crazy god people. Juno.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The new one's name is Alicia.
Okay, of course
And
she is.
Alicia shows up and she's like, yo, you got the staff, but you need to go and freaking live through Alexios or Cassandra going through these same freaking doors that we're standing right next to in the anime, so you'll be able to handle the staff. And this is where the DLC starts. And the DLC is just you going through the freaking doors. And once you go through the doors, it's like, oh no, the staff is evil. And it's freaking corrupting Layla's mind. And Layla kills her teammate. And then she also nearly kills Otto Berg, who is like the big...
The way Brotherhood ended, near exactly.
I don't remember how Brotherhood ended.
Okay, spoilers for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Yeah, Desmond and Lucy get in. They find
Right,
what.
yeah. I remember now.
Yeah.
I remember now. It was an apple.
It was the apple. Okay, that makes sense
But-
considering that's one Ezio was running around with for however long.
Yeah, the only difference there is that with Desmond, it was directly Juno controlling his mind somehow. I still don't get it how. And in this case, the staff just has its own will for some reason.
One of the biggest cases of like them trying to walk back a decision they made in an odd sense is them retroactively being like, oh yeah, it turns out it's good that Desmond killed Lucy because Lucy was a Templar spy the whole time. And I'm like, fuck you, you're just trying to explain away the protagonist killing the love interest so that we don't look at Desmond poorly for an action he didn't even do.
You know the real reason they had Desmond kill off Lucy?
So that Desmond could die without leaving a love interest behind?
No. Because
They
because
introduced a
the
new
game
love interest?
No, because the game director and the voice actress for Lucy didn't like each other, so she quit.
Ha!
And that's why Lucy died.
That's absurd.
So it wasn't actually something like, okay, so we just didn't want Desmond to leave traces or anything. No, it was genuinely just the voice actress and the director had a disagreement and she quit or something like that. So the game director was just like, okay, then you have no character.
Then this isn't Japan. They can just recast the character.
Look, dude. I don't know why they went for this.
Even in
But they
Japan,
did.
they'll recast the character if the previous actor's still alive. This is probably one of those things where the director was so pissed at her that the thought popped into his mind, what if I just killed Lucy to get rid of her? And then once it popped into his mind, he was like, hey, wait, that might actually be an interesting story thing to do. And that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So he just stuck with it. A passing thought turned into a genuine idea.
Yeah, and so that's why Lucy Stillman, I think that was her name, became a Templar agent.
Because God decided he didn't like her voice.
Yeah. Funny how, like, I actually don't remember if it was the original game director or the one that came after him. You know, the guy they fired or the guy who quit in the middle of Brotherhood or the guy they got to replace him after them.
I have no idea who. I have never heard of either of these individuals.
Yeah, the freaking, like, that's another story concerning Brotherhood and disagreements. The original game director or whatever, the guy who came up with the idea for a spin-off Assassin's Creed of Prince of Persia, didn't like where they were planning to take the series with 3 and the end of Brotherhood. I don't know what the plans were, but whatever. So he just flat out quit in the middle of development. It was fun.
Huh!
But yeah, going back to Odyssey, it just made me remember all the times when I was like, oh, this is interesting. I want to freaking go into the deep lore and see if the world is actually more rounded. that was the last part of the DLC, and it's like a part of me is disappointed that there's not more, but the other part of me is like, the gameplay,
Yeah.
because like once again, most of the missions were just, oh, here's man person, who is now an Isu because we can have man people, so Isu person, I guess. Isu person wants you to do X thing. You do X thing. Hooray! Or like, if not hooray, then choice.
Yeah.
One choice bad, the other choice bad. Which one do you choose?
Yes.
Yeah, but like, at least with some of the choices in this DLC, though, they actually gave you interesting questions, because it's like, so in Atlantis, not all, but most of the flowers are dead. Most either messed up somehow, and so the flowers are dead. One of the botanics wants to basically make an ultra sun, and so with the ultra sun, he wants to just directly beam the sunlight into the flowers so they may grow once more.
Okay.
But then you go and try to wire up the ultra sun, and it doesn't have enough power. So you go and check, and the MacGuffin that gives its power has been stolen. And it turns out it's another botanist who stole it. And they're like, yeah, this guy tried freaking doing shit with the environment like years before. He wanted to replace the bees by jizzing himself over the flowers. Not the actual terminology or what they did, but close enough.
Is
But
it close enough?
Well, he tried to artificially freaking pollinate them, but then turns out artificial pollinating killed the flowers, and so that's why we end up here.
Huh.
So you have to choose between the chance of immediately getting flowers, but you could just destroy the environment more, or you could choose to let time sort it out.
I feel like the
And like
choice is
that,
fairly obvious. The
I'll let
situation
time
has
sort it
already
out.
been fucked by the artificial flower seeds. Just let the shit sort itself out.
Yeah, that's what I chose. But like that's a more interesting question that they actually give you in the game. It's not just see, another mission that I did today that was a part of the main, well, closer to the main story than the DLC, was you have to go and put on a play, but the play that you have to put on is something that you actually saw happening, and so you can choose between actually doing the real thing or putting on the actual play. And it's like, wow, these are real freaking choices that matter, don't they? So like the DLC was better than the main story in that regard. It also was better in that it wasn't as long. The only real problems that I could raise against the DLC itself, and I don't know how they would make me not dislike the gameplay. And well, that and the freaking enemies, because until you get the ultimate assassin weapons of ultimateness that you can forge by getting the McAfee medals, until then, all of the characters are bullet sponges, and even then, they're just once you get the ultimate assassin weapons of assassins, even then they just take normal damage.
Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have
This
it.
is the problem with
Yeah.
Skyrim. Everything has to be an RPG now.
Yeah, it's not even a problem with Skyrim because this is not an FPS
Huh.
or a collectathon like Skyrim. This is a problem with Witcher,
Oh
and
god.
it's Cult of Fens.
I don't know. I think yeah, but Witcher's success is a product of Skyrim.
True.
I'd still consider them cousins.
Yeah, second cousins twice removed so they can freaking make kids.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, second cousin. That works.
Alabama 100. But yeah. Right. So yeah, also I'm working on Assassin's Creed Odyssey review as well. so far it's been just me not being able to decide whether or not I just want to go on a full on rant about how much I hate the direction of the game, or if I should try to actually keep a review. Because I have done a rant on the direction of a game before. I mean, have you seen my Undertale review? It's nothing but that.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could make both videos, but have one just be titled The Assassin's Creed Rant.
Yeah, my plan right now is to have a long version that is a rant as well as a review, and then have a short version that's just a review. But yeah, that's gonna happen sometime. Maybe we'll see.
All right.
Other than those, what else did I do? I played a bit of Blaze Blue, Chrono Phantasma Extend again to try out some of the other characters.
And?
I don't like any of them.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprisingly weak roster, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like there's no like I could go for freaking the big like robot samurai dude, but his sword is the size of himself,
Yeah.
and I dislike freaking dick swords more than I like samurai.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And that game is basically just that. It's just freaking people with dick swords. The game. Like if you're male, then chances are you're either a robot, an old man, or have a dick sword. If you're female, the chances are you don't wear any clothes.
Yep. And then of course there's oh shit, what's her name? Why has my brain failed me here? The girl with the guns. I can remember her name ordinarily.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember her name either. Yeah, her. Yayoi. No, is it Yayoi?
No, it's... Fuck. Oh, this is bad. I don't remember. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, as you were saying, yeah, like, her and a couple other characters are that Japan thing of totally 18.
Yeah.
And then she's super naked in that super form she has.
And then we also have Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. The gameplay structure, honestly, for BlazBlue on itself, like, combos don't feel good to throw out.
Yeah, the gameplay itself doesn't feel good. Like with Guilty Gear, the hits don't feel like they hit. But at least when I can freaking become Superman with Johnny and just fly, I feel cool because it's a hard thing to do, and also a lot of times the hits do feel like they hit. It's just not the freaking basic ones on the ground.
Yep.
And then in BlazBlue, no matter what you do, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't look that interesting in my opinion. Because I watched tournament footage of Hazara versus Terumi, those two are my mains. And for one, Hazama couldn't do anything.
Ha!
Let's start with that. Hazama got one combo in the whole match, and then he died.
Ha!
Which might just be that the Hazama player wasn't as good as the Terumi player. I wouldn't know, but who knows? Maybe Hazama is just that much worse than Terumi. But
I
also,
don't know, because Terumi doesn't have the chain. That's the thing.
Terumi doesn't have the chain, but Terumi does have the Hadouken dash. That's also a grab.
Right, but can he use it while in the air to pull someone on the ground towards him, or
Yes.
vice versa?
Yeah, he can. I think he can use it in the air to grab someone,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not sure. But yeah, and it's like the sprite work. I don't like the sprite work. I don't think it looks good. Just the overall quality of the sprites.
It looks better on some characters than others. What's the big goo guy?
Ooh, I don't remember him either. But yeah, like I remember him, but I don't remember his name.
Cause big goo guy looks good.
Big Goo Guy looks alright, but none of the like human characters, in my opinion, look good. They look dated to me.
They very much look like your typical Animu, you know?
Yeah.
It's the chief problem that game has. It's very anime.
But yeah, like, I also tried out freaking Ragnar the Blood Edge, because you said that he was fun,
Yeah.
and eh, eh,
I mean,
like,
he's your basic Shoto, absolutely, but I think he's fine.
I don't know. Like, it might just be because I was trying to play him like Soul Bad Guy, with who I don't play a lot, but you know,
Yeah.
everybody knows Soul Bad Guy. Everybody. But yeah, so I tried playing him like Soul, and it didn't work out quite well. And also, I just don't like how he and his brother have freaking angel wings. I hate it. Thanks.
Are
I
they
hate it.
brothers?
Yes, him and the one guy who doesn't have a dick sword, but is freaking just ice key.
Right,
They are
right.
brothers.
Ice car. Yeah, but I thought Jean wanted to fuck Ragna. I thought that
I
was
don't
their
freaking-
thing.
Might be. I don't freaking know, dude. I'm pretty sure that they're like either full on blood brothers or half brothers or something like that. Like I know that they have a family relationship that is not that is not a significant other. It's more closer to sibling.
Huh.
I guess exactly for Blaze Blue Boku no Pico. Yeah. Overall, I very much prefer Guilty Gear, and I just want to say that I read. I don't actually know if it's true or not, but I read that the only reason they did Blaze Blue was because they lost the rights to Guilty Gear one time.
Yes, yeah, that is actually, yeah, I'm 99% sure that's true.
Yeah,
Because they they very much did lose the rights to Guilty Gear. Like some company, I don't want to say it's Microsoft, but it was someone had the rights to it and made Guilty Gear 2, which was shit.
But yeah, if like with that being the case, I can very much feel it because Blaze Blue very much feels like Tesco value Guilty Gear.
Yeah. I mean, I could deal with the gameplay being mediocre. Well, no, I can't really because it's a fighting game. But it just bugs me how much, like, Guilty Gear is kind of anime. It's not super anime, but it's a little bit anime. Blaze Blue is super anime. It is anime out the ass.
I'm kind of on the other end. Like I could deal with the shitty characters because at least there's Hazama and I like Hazama's design. Not his actual character, but at least I like his design. So I could deal with the characters somewhat. But the gameplay just sucks so much. Just hate it. Like let's see if I actually played a fighting game that I disliked more. I actually don't know because I usually only buy. Oh right, yeah, I have played a fighting game. It's like where I own both of the freaking. I own two of the 3D trilogy Mortal Kombat. Of course, I play the worst fighting game.
The 3D Mortal Kombat, is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah. I consider those to be worse because that also has the freaking shitty nudity shit that this game has, but also worse gameplay.
Well,
Somehow, even worse
At
gameplay.
least with it being a Western game, they're of age. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I suppose. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and just have every Blaze Blue fan just under my window with pitchforks.
Okay. First things first, they'd be weebs, Addy, so they don't get out of the house. You need to know that.
No, but they're going to Area 51, so
Right.
on special occasions when they get arranged enough.
Okay, here's the thing. They're going to Area 51 because they think that's going to get them laid. Because they think they're going to be sleeping with fucking Liara from Mass Effect. Beating your ass would not get them laid.
But then they can go home to their Dakimakura and be like, I freaking save your honor, milady.
Oh
Uh,
god.
like you say, you
God.
say all the you say all the time that I'm a freaking weeb, but at least I'm not freaking crazy off of the deep end weeb.
Oh yeah, there's layers here, right? There's fucking
Yeah,
layers here. Naruto's
weebs are like onions. Anyway, yeah, you were saying.
an onion, but the layers are just garbage bags. It's like it's really closer to a matryoshka doll of garbage bags. But like the inside layer, the deepest layer, the hardest layer of weeb, the worst layer would, well, obviously the pedophiles. But if we go a layer
Yeah.
outside that, then we get the body pillows. And then a layer outside that is hentai without body pillows. Is it hentai?
Hentai.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I just want to point out how hentai means pervert. So, hentai can be
Japan
used.
has a fetish for being called perverts. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah.
I was
So
joking. Wait, was that serious?
what? Having a fetish for being called a pervert?
Yeah, I was joking.
No. I mean, not that I know of. I don't think that they like being called perverts, but there's a lot of societal shit that like this circles back around to my problem. Yeah.
Wait, doesn't in Yakuza 0 the guy hiring the dominatrix, doesn't he ask to be called a pervert?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's just more like a kink, like freaking scat fetish over here.
Oh. Well, I mean, in what regard do you mean that? In that it's just a slight kink? Or do you mean like in that nobody likes them and they're considered disturbing weirdos?
Both. Hopefully both. But definitely the first one.
Okay.
But yeah.
Stop barking at the fucking cat! Okay, you guys know that newer meme that's been popping up lately where it's the ladies yelling at the cat and they're shrieking and the cat's just looking at them?
Yeah.
No.
That is going on in my hallway right now. Just replace the ladies with a puppy.
This reminds me of the time when I had a dog.
And he was just shrieking at all times?
Yes. She was.
Why, doggo? Why?
I mean, at least with my dog, it had a purpose because she just heard a lot of movement in the freaking in the flat that we live in, and she was paranoid. But at least one time she did freaking bark away thieves who wanted to break in.
Huh. Sweet.
Yeah. At least that one time, my old dog being a psycho paid off.
Yeah.
Alright. Where were we? Alright, what I did this week. Let's see, because I feel like I did something else as well. I don't know, whatever, let's move on.
Alright. Did you do anything else? Oh, wait,
No,
that's
I said...
just what you answered, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I heard you say I'm trying to think if I did anything else, but my brain was like, oh, clearly he's talking about BlazBlue still. You're asking yourself if you did anything else in BlazBlue. Because that's how it works. Alright. Yeah, on my week, I probably did a lot of stuff. No, I didn't do a lot of stuff this week. We recorded. What am I thinking about? Well, they updated Tabs, so I got to play Tabs some more. Tabs is still a fucking good game. I know, shocker.
I'm still waiting for it to be added to the Xbox Game Pass so I can be Uller.
I don't know if it'll ever be added to Xbox Game Pass.
They showed it in the Game Pass ad.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, they showed it in the same one that they showed Blazing Chrome in.
Really? Okay, well, when that game comes out, you guys are playing it. Whether you like it or not.
When that game comes out, what you cut out?
Don't act like you're being left out of this, Pink.
Oh, don't worry. I've got it on my list.
And yeah, Addy, I'm gonna have to tell you how to unlock Uller because he's hidden. He's a hidden.
I know how to unlock Uller.
All right.
I saw it the day he was released.
All right. Then I don't need to help you. Good luck, fucker.
I remember it's in a freaking like birdcage in an ice level.
Yep, actually, that's pretty much exact, yeah. Alright, other than that, I also played Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires a lot more, and I finished the first campaign, the Yellow Turban campaign. As I mentioned on last week's podcast, despite the fact the point of the campaign logically is to end the Yellow Turban Rebellion, so that peace returns to China, I then proceeded to invade the rest of China as well. They never saw it coming. Much like Constantinople and whatever crusade that was. But I quite like Dynasty Warriors. I need to get around to picking 8 empires up at some point. Though I don't know when, if ever, I'll get around to doing it. I should probably put more time into 5 empires before I work on doing that. That would make sense. But Addy, you said you've never actually played any of the Dynasty Warriors, right? Only Warriors Orochi?
I played a bit of 4, but it was in German.
Oh.
So yeah, I didn't understand those freaking levels, and then I don't even remember where that copy went, because I had it and then I didn't.
Such is life.
Yeah. But yeah, like I played a bit of 4 on the PS2 in German, so I didn't understand shit. And then, so like by playing, I meant I went into the versus into what is probably the versus mode accidentally. Played like two minutes. I went, I don't like the controls, and then I freaking exited the game. And then I played through Warriors Orochi 3 twice, and that's my Koei crowdfighter experience.
All right. Now, okay, I'm gonna have to ask Pink something entirely off topic, just real quick, because I need help with it. Pink, can you help me? What's the name of that DDT that Miz always does, where he kicks out their knees first?
Kneeling DDT, I want to say. Or it might actually have been changed to one of the basic DDTs. There might not be any name in it. It might just be numbered.
Okay, I'll have to look through all those. Yeah, I don't see.
Right.
I don't see a kneeling DDT. I'll go check that. But yeah, Dynasty Warriors 5. There are some. Well, for one thing, I found out recently, like, what I was going in expecting. I was expecting, like, the crazy Sengoku Basara killing hundreds of guys with each hit. Found out apparently that's Dynasty Warriors 8 that does that. Cause duh, 5 is on PS2. Of course it can't handle that. I don't know what I was thinking there, really.
Yeah, with going back to Devil Kings, just to pose a thing of comparison, like Devil Kings and Sengoku Basara 1, because that's what it is, wasn't as freaking insane as Yukiden, because like the most crazy that you could get was, I think, juggling 15, 30 at most people at the same time.
Yeah.
which was hard to do, like really hard. But yeah.
And what was I? Right, so, but yeah, there are a lot of fun characters in that game. I love Cao Cao, I love Shotai, I love Cao Rin. But I started up the Dongzhou campaign as Dongzhou instead of actually as one of the heroes, so I get to play as the villain. And boy, if you start with Lu Bu in that game, it is just trivial. Like, the campaign is just a wash. Like, I had to go to some serious lengths to get some of the provinces of China as Cao Cao. Whereas as Lu Bu, I'm just taking all of China, wiping it out. It's horrific. Lu Bu is a PS2 game Dynasty Warriors character with the power of a PS4 Dynasty Warriors character. I press 3 buttons and people are dead. So all that shit about do not pursue Lu Bu was being honest. And it's a fairly good, mixed strategy game and Musou game. I'm enjoying it a lot. Again, they need to just bring the fucking Sengoku Basras to the West. Because, like, Addy, what is the thing that people always bring up about the fucking Dynasty Warriors games?
I don't freaking know because I don't follow those circles.
Right, but why do critics always hate them? Because
I
the
don't know.
games change nothing.
Ah,
But Sengoku Basara changes a lot between games, doesn't it?
usually not. I mean, well, it depends really because the series, like, at some point, people were like that it's a yearly series, but it wasn't really. Sometimes it has yearly cycles sometimes.
Ha!
Because like you have the first two games and the special versions, which makes it 4 games on the PS2. Those games are somewhat similar, but they have differences. The third game is on PS3. The third game also had Utage, which was only released in Japan. I'm not sure what the hell differences it makes, but it does apparently. Then you have 4, which was released on the PS3 and and with Sumeragi on PS4. And Sumeragi is the only PS4 actual mainline Sengoku Basara game because Yukina is a spin-off.
Alright. And now
But
we
yeah,
know.
and the main differences that I can tell between the main games, well, the big mechanical differences between 3, 4, and Yukiden that I can tell is that 3 was closer to the first game in that it was, semi, just basic mechanics. You can juggle people, but it's not that easy. All that. 4 added these special prize people that you had to beat, like the Fen people in Yukiden that we beat up.
No.
Okay, so uh 4 added special, like, basically people enclosed into small boxes. Fired like freaking cannons out of the boxes or something like that, and you had to beat them that way and shit like that for more money. And then Yukiden,
I don't know that I'd count adding a new enemy type as really much of a gameplay innovation.
I mean, it's a bit of a gameplay innovation when they come with their own special missions, I think.
Ah. Huh.
And
I
and
always
then
heard
it,
the Muso players say that Sengoku Basara was better because it was willing to change.
oh, Sengoku Basara, what you go by. Mechanics don't change a lot. Character lineups change a freaking lot. Q-Ball, who is freaking Preacher Man, has not been on a freaking Sengoku Basara game since like the second one, if he was even in that.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. Sengoku Basara is a lot better about change that way because you can see a lot of different characters, but that also means that sometimes the people you like don't make it into the games if their name is not Tatema Samune, Sana Yukimura, Oto Nobunaga, or whoever the freaking antagonist is this time.
Ah. Interesting. Okay. Now, I think that's where I'll wrap up for Dynasty Warriors 5. I don't think there's particularly much I've played this week other than that. So I guess I'll talk about Day 2K19 for a little bit. Because while we were recording, I went ahead and got the accelerator and unlocked all the characters. And I'm really curious. So, some of these obviously some of these legend picks I'm just laughing at. Like, for the sheer absurdity of it. And I don't know if you'd count them as legend picks, but I always count dupes as legend picks. I don't know if you guys do. Even if they're for a wrestler who's still working.
Oh yeah, I do the same.
So
R-Truth is a legend.
Yeah, I'm laughing here. laughing here at this WWE game that has Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan. At this WWE game that has Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan as legends. Does using the accelerator unlock characters other than the legends that are in the shop and also the Daniel Bryan characters?
Does using it do what?
Are there characters outside of the unlockable legends and stuff from the shop and from the Daniel Bryan mode? Because, like...
Not...
Well, for one thing, I've unlocked Baron Blade, which is confounding.
Oh yeah, it's story mode thing.
Okay, so there's at least one character who's unlocked from my player mode.
Yeah, there are 3, I want to say. You get Baron Blade,
Brian Kendrick?
somebody else, and
Is Brian
El
that-
Mago.
Is Brian Kendrick? Brian Kendrick is a CAW. Okay, yeah. I forgot that I downloaded him. You said Baron Blade, and who?
El Mago. And then there's somebody else whose name escapes me.
I'll probably find them when I get to them.
Right.
Was Better Blade in 16?
He was
No.
in 15. He's been the rival character in every My Career mode going back to 15. Oh,
And now he's playable for some reason.
I never freaking saw Better Blade in 16.
is he a forced meme? Is he one of those characters where 2K's tried to turn him into a meme?
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. Dash Wilder? I don't remember him being unlocked at the start of the game.
He's one half of the revival.
Okay, I don't know what that is. He looks like the most...
Tag
Team.
team.
Okay, he's the most vanilla-looking guy ever, so I guess I just forgot that he was there on the default roster. Okay.
Their big thing is no flicks, just chicks.
Okay. El Mago was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I want him off my screen right now. And there was one... There's one other... Addy, go ahead.
You're cutting out. I can't hear you.
I can hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I really want them to make like a shitty ripoff, like really skinny Umaga as a Minecraft character and name it El Umago.
Okay, fuck you, Kevin Owens 2018 as a legend pick. This game was released in 2018, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, probably the tail end. Probably the tail
Kevin
end.
Owens, a great legend a year ago.
It wasn't even a year ago. This game came out, I assume it came out in October or November of 2018, right?
Yeah.
It was
October of
that fucking
2018.
year.
You know
And
who I
Kevin
think-
Owens is only from, like, I don't know, 7 months earlier?
Yeah.
You know my
Paul
favorite.
Quinn was the other My Player career thing character.
You know who my favorite legend character in 2019 is?
Who?
Daniel Bryan 2019.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, can I just say, thank God they added a Miz 2010 outfit?
Yeah.
Because I
Is
hate,
that the-
I hate Miz's current hair.
Is that the one that he had in 2011?
Probably.
The B-Miz trunks.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And the faux hawk.
Yeah.
Can I get him the WrestleMania entrance with the big stupid awesome letters?
Oh, I don't think you can, but you should.
That was definitely in one of the games. They might have just
Yeah,
taken that.
2K14.
Right. And Papa Shango, who still manages to get into every game. Oh, cool. Rick Rude's in this one. I'm seeing a whole world of wonder right here. Looking over these characters that are unlocked now.
Can I just say that before I actually invested myself into Rusty Norwich and all that, I didn't know who Rick Rude or Ric Flair were, so I had them feud over the name Rick.
That sounds like something Ric Flair and Rick Rude would do, honestly.
But they also only fought in freaking backyard brawls.
Of course they did.
SBR8 was stupid.
Did SVR08 have backyard brawls?
Yeah, it did.
Huh. I do not remember that.
I don't think they got removed until, like, 2009. Maybe 10.
Oh, by the way, did you guys hear the rumors that there's something gonna be with Here Comes the Pain now?
I've heard rumors. I think the rumors are stupid.
Yeah, the rumors are probably full of shit, but
Absolutely. They're not going to go out and recontract a bunch of alumni for one game made 20 years ago that everybody loves.
They can't remake. Well, they might remake. I mean, they could potentially, if they wanted to blow money, remake Here Comes the Pain. Nobody would buy it except for fanboys like us. But an outright remaster, it would have to be a remake, not a remaster. Because you know what the original game has that they definitely could not have on a modern game?
Chris Benoit.
Benoit.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit
but-
ain't happening.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I heard rumors that they're remaking it, and I thought it was full of shit. But then, like, I read comments, and it was like they didn't say they're remaking it, but they're like going back and looking at what made those games favorites and trying to use that in freaking 2K20 or some shit like that. And who the hell knows at this point what they're doing with the series?
I assume they're going to learn the wrong lessons from that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've not played Here Comes the Pain, but my understanding is the two things people liked about it was, one, it had a functioning season mode. And if they're going to go back for the season mode, don't go back to Here Comes the Pain. Go back to Shut Your Mouth.
Right.
Which, hey, yeah, we actually get to invoke the fucking podcast's namesake for once. Would you believe it?
Absolutely.
How many opportunities do we get to do that?
That's why we're renaming the podcast Hey Guys, the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hang on. Should the new mascot of the podcast be Addy's main from Dota 2? The Shut Your
My
Mouth
main
one?
from what?
Should it be your main from Dota 2?
Silencer.
Yeah.
Sure. I know.
Oh, you know what Here Comes the Pain had that made it such a great game?
What?
Brock
Ultimate
Lesnar.
Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon. Exactly.
Ultimate Dragon.
Yeah.
But they should add the entrance where he slips on his cape.
Yeah. Just like they should have that fucking entrance for Sin Cara where he gets caught on the ropes.
They should add in the Chinese only entrance where he slides under the ring.
Yeah. Oh, God. Wrestling's dumb. I love it. So, I mean, the other thing that generally I hear about that people would probably want 2K to learn from is just that wasn't Here Comes the Pain actually really difficult? Like, I feel like I remember hearing about that, like, when you played through the season mode, you tried to go out of your way to avoid Goldberg or Brock Lesnar because they just fuck you up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never had problems with it.
Oh, okay. Because, I mean, when you play a modern day game, it doesn't matter who you're going up against.
Yeah.
Like, you're just fighting dudes with slightly higher damage values, but that's it.
Yep. There might be something more to that I'm not aware of, but you know, I played through my career as Tajiri and definitely never had a problem with any of the top tier talents like Brock Lesnar or Undertaker. So
okay, yeah, I was about to say, who are you playing as? Then you say Tajiri. I'm like, oh, okay. So it wasn't a problem, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. At the same time, I was playing it when I was much older and had a lot more experience with every other wrestling game. So that might be just a little bit of nostalgia on everyone else's part, but I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
For the true challenge, you need to face Brock Lesnar and Goldberg in a 2-on-1 handicap as Rico.
Shit, that might actually still be hard now, just because the the game isn't very well built for team fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, am I the only person who avoids tag team matches like the fucking plague in modern day games?
No, tag team matches are a real drag in modern games.
I avoided
Like-
WWE games. What are you talking about? No tag team matches for me, player.
2K19's good. I've picked it up, and I intend for it to be the only one I pick up for the next 5 years.
I don't like the controls.
Ha!
Then again, like the thing is, like, I don't like the new controls. I don't like the old controls.
Yeah.
There's no controls I like.
Oh, yo! 2012 R-Truth! Best game ever. I got 2010 Miz and 2012 R-Truth. I'm sold. I'm good. I don't need anything else.
Are you making Team U suck? Wasn't that their name?
No.
Okay, I forget their name then. Alright, awesome truth. I forget.
Team, you suck. I don't know where you came up with that, but okay, Addy.
I guess from that one time that the Miz and Arceus came out singing.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wouldn't Team You
I'll-
Suck just be Edge and Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Team You Suck would be the stable of Angle, Roman Reigns, Cena.
Okay, shut up. Cena doesn't belong in that class. Or is this the part where we start the fight?
What fight? No, I'm not saying that they actually suck. I'm saying that's the crowd response to them.
Oh. I don't know. I feel like then you'd give Angle a separate class for his own, since it's always ironic in his case.
True. But yeah. What was I going to say? Bloody hell. Alright, they should have totally add freaking K-Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add TNA variations of all the old wrestlers. Oh, yeah.
Christian Cage.
What a dumb name. That's an edgelord wrestling name, you know?
The thing is, when the TNA game was out, and I was like, well, I've never heard of TNA, but it's a wrestling game, and I already have freaking backyard wrestling and SVROH, so I guess I should complete the trifecta. And it's like, Christian Cage, and I'm like, who the hell? And I see him, and I'm like, who the hell? Because when I looked at the TNA game first, Christian hasn't been on TV for like half a year. And then he went on to the feud with Orton. Christian's career.
Oh, yeah, it's always worth a laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, fair
yeah.
warning for anyone watching the podcast right now, this is just going to be wrestling talk from here on out. So if you don't watch wrestling, just drop out now.
Bloody hell. Just like I'm imagining them. You have Bubba Ray Dudley. You have Bubba Ray Dudley, wrestling normally. Like, you have Ray Dudley. You have Bubba Ray Dudley, and then you have Bully Ray.
Bully Ray. It doesn't get any dumber than Bully Ray.
Yeah.
A guy being named Bully. What is he, Australian? That sounds like an Australian name. Alright, I'll name my son Bully. Oh. That was closer to like Cockney or North English, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And what other stupid names are there that fellow people use in TNA and other places?
Okay, well, first of all, stupid TNA names, you gotta start and end with Suicide and Abyss. So, there you go.
Yeah, I was about to say Abyss, but then again I forgot about Suicide, and I always, like, the thing is, the only reason I remember Suicide 4, aside from the game, I mean, is because they renamed him Medic, and that's it.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we get to have Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero, and Willow the Wisp.
Oh, God. Can I just say, first of all, I'm not a big fan of Matt Hardy's gimmick that he's been running around with for the past couple of years. But the dumbest thing is the fucking name of his tag team with Bray. Deleters of Worlds.
Yep.
That's the dumbest.
Freaking get Lita to join the Leaders of Worlds.
Fuck it, we're not even gonna bother making sense now. We're just delete us.
We're the leaders.
You're making puns off of puns at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to remember that I'm also the minds behind freaking teaming up Triple H with Brian Christopher to name them Team Do Them Good, and teaming up freaking Goldberg and Justin Gabriel for Golden Wolves.
Oh, God.
Like the thing is, usually I don't come up with good names, and then I come up with the shittiest names, and I'm like, that's good. That's good shit. Uh,
So why did they give Beth Phoenix Ricky Steamboat's old chicken wing hold as a finisher?
close enough.
That is weird, because I'm pretty sure they've got the proper glam slams now, finally. It only took her to retire and come back, but hey.
Beth came back.
Only for a WrestleMania match. She's not
okay.
actually back on contract.
Yeah,
Okay, I was about to say.
God they appreciate her for a little bit.
I hated Beth Phoenix. I don't know why, but I did.
I'm not exactly sure why you did either. One of the only two unique wrestlers in an era. Well, I guess you could probably include Alicia Fox in that class. She was better than the other models. But like one of the only good wrestlers in an era of obnoxious supermodels.
Right. You know what's crazy is that Alicia Fox has been with the company since like 2007.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox has been with the company since 2000.
So like I forget how long she's been there, but she's like one of the top veterans in that company right now. Who else comes near that longevity?
Undertaker.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, obviously. Like,
yeah.
I remember the wild thing was one of the things I thought was weird was around the time Kelly Kelly was nearing the end of her first run with WWE, which she's back now, isn't she?
No.
Oh, did she just come back for WrestleMania match like Beth?
Yeah, she came back for a Royal Rumble appearance, and she might have done something at Mania, but it wasn't in any wrestling capacity.
Ah, okay. But like when she was nearing the end, I realized, hey, wait a second. Against all odds, Kelly Kelly has spent more time with WWE than Trish did.
Right?
That is an injustice if there ever was one.
Sometimes it's really crazy when you think about things and look back on them. Because Trish was there for all of, what, 6 years maybe? If that?
I want to say it was closer to 5.
Yeah.
It was like 2001
maybe
to 2006.
2001 to 2005. 2006.
Yeah, probably, yeah. And I mean, of course, there are bigger examples. Like, I mean, when people talk about Rock's golden age, that was like 2 years.
Yep.
And obviously, he's had the momentary comebacks like Hollywood Rock and the thing with Cena.
Yep.
But when people think Rock, they think, People's Champion, they think Corporation, they think Nation of Domination. And that was like only 2 or 3 years.
Yep. Kurt Angle in that same maybe a 4-year tenure?
I don't know how long. Was Kurt Angle there in the early days of WWE CW?
I want to say he was brought in like just as WWE was going from F to E. So maybe like 2000, 2001.
Yeah, but wasn't he...
Probably around the same time. Go ahead.
Wasn't he one of the first guys they put on the ECW revival show? When they tried to bring back ECW? Yeah.
Yeah. But
he never actually picked up the title, right?
No, because he left almost immediately thereafter. He got W, had maybe a month down there, and then he got released from his contract for the rehabilitation issues, and then he went directly to TNA.
Can I just point out that we live in an age where Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle are both working for the WWE? Which means that they did not get sober. It's just that WWE lightened up the wellness policy.
Yeah.
Because those two are never getting sober.
No. Jeff Hardy was, like, arrested last week.
Yeah.
For public intoxication.
Like, Angle, I could accept maybe at some point in his life Angle might get his shit together. I don't think it will happen. But I accept it as a possibility. Jeff lives for the drugs.
Jeff is the drugs.
He has become an entire drug.
Brother Drago.
There's just meth consistently flowing through his bloodstream at all times.
Yes, the Hardy brothers. Meth and Matt Hardy.
Has Matt Matt finally dropped all that excess weight he had for a while? Has he finally got back in shape?
Yeah, he's in shape now.
Oh, that's good. I was worried he was.
Yeah.
I was worried he was big Matt in WWE because that'd be a little awkward.
No, he was definitely pretty big at the end of his WWE career, and probably throughout most of his TNA career.
He was
Well,
at
I
his
wanna
worst when he
say-
had cornrows.
What's that?
He was at his worst during that space of time where he had cornrows.
Yeah. I want to say he got back in shape like a year or two before his WWE comeback.
Huh. All right.
Is Matt still with the company, or wait, no, I'm
Yes.
mixing the two up. Am
Matt
I
is
not?
still with the company. Jeff is too. I believe Jeff had been injured for a few months now.
All right, because I remember like one of them quitting.
No,
For some
nobody's
reason.
quit yet, to my knowledge.
All right.
Psycho
I think
Sid
they
do
might
it?
both be injured. I don't know what Matt's been up to. I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, yeah,
he might be injured as well.
Psycho Sid, my favorite active WWE superstar.
Yeah. He's one of those guys looking back in history that I'm like, why do we still talk about him?
Why do we
was
what?
special about him?
He broke his leg.
That was impressive, but that was also toward the very end of his career.
He needed to justify it somehow, Pink.
How about the fact that he's twice as strong as you and half as smart? Okay, why I blurted his name out all of a sudden is because I'm going through and editing all the Legends movesets now that I've unlocked them because I'm a moveset nerd. Why does Psycho Sid have a crossface as a finisher?
That is an excellent question.
What's a crossface again?
That's Benoit's move.
Oh, right. The freaking label lock.
Yeah.
But with the wrong leg, I should know. Meaning that the opponent should logically be able to take their arm out of the hold at any given point.
It's the working label lock. The label lock that doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah.
It's weird how I actually remember the real name for that move, but not the one freaking the users named it.
Because crossface is very generic, but label lock is pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
But never in my life would I expect to see a man as large as Psycho Sid ever do a crossface. I refuse to believe that he at any point in his career did a crossface. Fuck off.
I certainly can't remember any time, but hey, if the WWE game says so.
I'll look it up later. I'll take it on good faith for now, but I've certainly seen a couple fucked up movesets in this game already, so...
Yes, absolutely.
What are
I'm
the
still not
highlights?
Andre ever actually did a tombstone pile driver.
I don't think he did. Did they just make that shit up?
I have no idea.
Obviously, Andre's actual signature was the moon stomp.
Yeah, obviously. The other one that bugs me is they gave Miz, 2010 Miz, they gave him, for his signature, they gave him that, little backbreaker, neckbreaker combo, which he definitely was not doing in 2010.
Right.
That, like, he didn't start doing that move until, like, 2015, when I stopped watching.
Wait,
Right.
neckbreaker, neckbreaker, or do they not have the reality check? Because I feel like he did that.
They do, but it's still the shitty old animation from, like, 2008.
Yep.
Boy.
I put that as Miz's secondary finisher in every game, and just because I do like it as a move. I love the reality check. It's a cool move. But holy shit, does it look bad.
Yeah. If ever you want to reanimate something, that would be a great move to start with.
They reanimate so many weirdo moves, but that one stays.
Right?
Remember when they freaking retook the 450 to fit Justin Gabriel, and then when Gabriel left, they took it out?
They've redone the 450 so many times. I think for the past 3 years, it's changed every year.
Well, it's because the 450 is such a kind of unnatural movement for the human body that they have no real way to try and make it look realistic in a video game.
Right.
I remember when I played 08, I looked at the Phoenix Splash. I think that's its name.
Mm-hmm.
Or not the Phoenix, the Shooting Star press. I looked at that and I went, there's no way any living thing is doing that in real life.
Seth Rollins did when he was on the Indies, didn't he?
Yeah, then I saw Evan Bourne and I was like, I don't like Evan Bourne.
You, sir, defy my reality. I choose to believe you don't exist.
And it's actually weird because now Evan Bourne is one of my main freaking heroes in my universe.
Does you dislike him that much?
No, I actually like. I just feel like he's the best vanilla midget to go against the vanilla midget that is Justin Gabriel, who is my main face.
Ah. Oh man, I'm gonna get the move pack in a little bit, and I have this weird issue with every time I get a move pack in these games, where the move packs are inevitably loaded with indie goons moves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But when I get them, I don't feel right not using the moves, so I go and download these indie goons off of the CAWs, even though I didn't give even the slightest bit of a shit about them. I feel like I have to. I'm gonna have to go download Will Ospreay so I can use his stupid chicken wing face buster.
Right.
Chicken wing face sitter. That's the. Anyway.
Look,
I do the same thing. I want to say it was 2K14. That's when they had the move pack DLC that basically had Adrian Neville's entire moveset in there. At the time, I didn't like Adrian Neville, but I was like, hey, all his moves are here, so I guess I'm going to download a Neville.
And then a year or two later, you're proven hard wrong. Wasn't there a good stretch there where, like, Neville was you and Ted's favorite guy working in the company?
Probably.
He's not there anymore, though, right?
No, probably not, because he left on such bad terms, and that would probably anger Ted.
No, I wasn't talking about whether or not he's Ted's favorite. I could ask Ted himself if I wanted to do that. I'm saying, is he still not working with WWE?
No, he's not.
Yeah, he left WWE.
Ah, right.
Yeah, for one, I still feel like I'm correct to say that early Adrian Neville sucked ass because he did flips for the sake of flips, and like my favorite wrestlers are spot monkeys, but that was too much for even me.
Yeah, I enjoyed plenty of spot monkeys. NXT era, the early NXT days of Adrian Neville, I found him to be completely underwhelming. It wasn't until he got put onto the main roster that he became one of my favorites.
I disliked him on the main roster even. The time when I started liking Adrian Neville is when he went heel and became the king of cruiserweights.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's when I started liking him, because I was like, oh, look at that. He actually stopped flipping for once.
Now, with Adrian Neville, I forgot what I was going to say. That's awesome. Yeah, mid-sentence, I forgot what I was going to say.
Nice.
That's the worst it's ever been.
Going back to the moveset thing as well. Like you two feel this sudden urge to freaking download the people that they're associated with. I don't have that sort of issue because I just make people anyway. So for me, the move spec is just like, oh, cool. Here's another super kick that looks actually better than the usual.
Yeah,
I guess that goes on my new created wrestler that I don't even know who it will be yet.
I'll be honest. Some of the indie finishing moves, the real crazy ones, I'll just give to the ladies. Like, okay, you're using the running facebuster as well. That move's changed. Here's the 630 senton.
To be fair, some of the women have just absolutely awful finisher picks anyways.
Yeah.
Like, Brie Bella going with the facebuster, or Ivory going with the exact same fucking facebuster. No. And the facebuster animation sucks in every game.
I feel like I remember there being a game when X-Pac was in the game, and if you went into Xbox moveset, instead of him having his own facebuster, they gave him the Bella Buster.
Yep.
Was that 13 or was that 16?
That was 13, 16, and 17, if he was in 17.
They gave him the Bella Buster in all of them?
Yes. They never bothered to recall the X Factor. It was just known as the Bella Buster, or in later installments, the Running Bella Buster.
I'm not a fan of Bella, but I do appreciate her taking precedence over fucking X-Pac.
No respect for X-Pac. Do you know what
no one respects X-Pac?
Yeah. Like
The
I
moment
remember
he
I
had a sex tape, there was any attempt at respect he would have was gone.
I remember I repackaged him because I ran off freaking feud with him against Neville, and Neville was Neville, but I had Xbox also repackaged to be Neville, and he was called the Xbox Shawn Meltman. Those are the types of feuds that I have in my universe.
Incredible.
Here's the thing. You're good at character creation. I can't bother with that shit. I have to rely on community creations because my character creation skills suck.
Oh, dude, I always use the default faces because I can't be bothered. But I go all out with clothing and making the clothing fit or be unique.
Oh, I hate making
Without...
wrestlers fight in clothing.
Oh, I don't mean clothing like that. I mean their get up looking
Their
unique.
gear.
Yeah, their gear. Like sometimes I make people in actual clothing, but that's really what's the word I'm looking for? It's not. Usually I don't. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah. But yeah, I usually just don't use whatever the hell they give me in the game because I don't want to bother with their servers and downloading my logos from there to actually make unique shit.
Huh.
So that's my CAW, my CAW of myself. Every time I make his jacket, which they actually removed from the game, so I don't know how I will make his jacket.
Huh.
But every time I try to make his jacket, I actually have to spend like 2 hours just putting different, like separate square, like one-colored freaking squares, multiple ones all over it, just to make it multicolored and shit like that. Because that's what it should look like. I enjoy character creation. I don't enjoy most of the games. I enjoy the character creation for some reason.
Ah. Hey, Pink. Here's another question. So, I've got 2K19. I had 2K7, or I still have 2K17, and both of them have this Dana Brooke chick. Who the fuck is she?
She's basically kind of a budget version of Beth Phoenix.
Okay, because I don't see her doing any actual power moves other than a Samoan drop.
She should be a more powerhouse character. Maybe that's not what they gave her, but
I mean,
I don't know.
Her signature is a handstand elbow, so.
Oh yeah, because she's been doing all the athletic stuff recently. So, think tinier Beth Phoenix, I suppose, with more athleticism.
Ah, okay.
It's a lot of gymnastics with her now.
Okay.
Which is
Phoenix.
Crazy because she's not very tight in the ring, so I wouldn't recommend doing the gymnastics, but I mean, you do you.
You feel free to get as many people hurt as you want.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Cole Quinn? Oh, right, he's that guy you said.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, why is there a Chippendale here? Who ordered the strippers?
Look, during everyone has worked for Seth Rollins. So.
Heh. Don't you guys hate that Ember Moon chick?
No, I quite enjoy her.
Oh, I thought she was a werewolf or something stupid.
Who's Ember Wolf? Ember Wolf?
Ember Wolf!
Who's Ember Moon? Oh boy. Ember Wolf.
It's the secret identity of Moon.
Yeah. I know that the freaking like I know that the most use that I got out of the new people that I don't know much of is just sanity. Like their clothes in Create a Wrestler.
Ha! I mean, that's an option.
Yeah.
Okay, I've just seen Ember Moon's finisher. It looks dumb as hell.
It is. It really is. That's the one thing the one aspect I really don't like about her.
That makes no sense. How does she not botch that every night? Like Addy just botched that. Does she not watch it?
She's botched it multiple times, to be quite honest. There was a Fatal 4-Way at one point where she did a double eclipse on Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, and it just looked awful. And it was an awful end to an absolutely awful match.
Okay. Oh, was this the legendary... What event was it? Was it a WrestleMania? I know I heard about some Fatal 4 Divas. Damn it, I called them Divas. Fucking John Laurinaitis, get out. Get out, John.
Some divers. But yeah, by the way, I don't know what the hell made me have
icons and artifacts of good wrestling religion to ward off the ghost of John Laurinaitis. I could have gotten a fucking autographed picture with Ricky Steamboat, and I chose not to. I could use that to protect myself against the demons of John Laurinaitis.
You're screwed now, boy.
You need to take your copy of Legends of Wrestling, and then you need to put it in the window.
No, I got something stronger. I got WWE All-Stars right there where I can see it.
W what?
WWE All-Stars.
Oh boy.
Get out, demon! Get out! What would be the phrase?
you put out a picture of Hulk Hogan from that freaking parody of Wrecking Ball he did.
No, a picture of Chris Hemsworth with the Hogan mustache.
You put that Warrior. Just the artwork on that Warrior going Hulk Hogan.
I was suggesting I use good wrestling to ward them out. I don't know what you're doing here.
I'm somebody John Laurinaitis.
You're trying to summon
John Laurinaitis.
No, you summoned John Laurinaitis with icons of Kelly. You summoned John Laurinaitis with icons of Kelly Kelly.
All right, going back to Kelly.
You have to do the voice really shitty, and I can't even do it.
All right, going back to Kelly Kelly. Like, I disliked Beth Phoenix. I disliked Kelly Kelly even more just because she had the freaking sexy devil costume in SPR 08.
That's bad. I'm not a fan of that. The thing that will always get me about Kelly Kelly, even if she turned into a good wrestler somehow, by some fucking miracle, it would kill me, her constant screeching in every match.
The only good thing that came out of Kelly Kelly is, freaking... I forget his name. Guy was in right. Drew McIntyre going Kelly.
Oh,
that's the only good thing that came out of Kelly Kelly.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre doesn't have a good.
I forgot Drew had a arc with Kelly. What the heck?
I prefer to forget Drew McIntyre's romantic life altogether, considering.
A lot of times
Drew McIntyre would also like to forget his romantic life.
A lot of times I just forget Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. We kind of just made a domestic abuse joke there, by the way. But it's girl on guy, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh no. Is this the time for a public service announcement?
We're sorry.
We're not sorry.
Eat your sleep. Go to drugs every day. Drink your school. Wait.
Eat your sleeve.
It's high in protein.
Yeah.
Or protein, depending on whether or not you're in Canada.
Eat your sleeve. Go to Boo. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Oh God.
I've entered the freaking 2007 era random raw phase.
Perfect.
And now I'm just staring at Bobby Fish's name.
I thought you were gonna say I'm just staring at Bobby Lashley.
No, fuck no! I'm probably not gonna pay $10 for Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, some idiot Vikings, and that guy who fucking got kicked out. What's his name? Douchebag from TNA.
EC3.
Why did they think that they could just, for $10, sell you 4 wrestlers, and they're not even famous ones? They're just those 4 losers.
Right.
What do you mean your favorite wrestler is not Ethan Cartridge for the Force?
As much as I dig EC3, $10 is a lot to ask from one man.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, Bobby Lashley was MMA. He brings legitimacy to the industry.
We need actual freaking Genja martial artist RVD in these games. He brings legitimacy to the art. My favorite RVD thing is that one time after his like 2014 or so run, once he wasn't contract anymore, a guy tweeted him like, "Why don't you go back to WWE?" And he's like, "I will go back if they give me money."
Yeah. Fair
Like,
enough.
yeah, he just came out and said, "I will go anywhere. Just give me money." I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
At least you're honest. I like that.
Marijuana does not pay for itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we need a WWE Buddy Cop movie with RVD and Snoop Dogg.
Oh man.
Also ever born a Jack Swagger.
Ha. Okay. Pink, I got one last question about W2K19 for you. Why the hell is it that I can't get Community Creations characters that use locked character parts until I use the accelerator? Why was that?
I'm not entirely sure what the reasoning
aren't-
behind it is.
There aren't any locked moves, are there?
No, but there are locked attire pieces.
Or
So if the character is wearing an attire piece from a locked character, you can't download that character until you've unlocked that attire piece.
dumb.
Yeah,
This is actually exactly what I said when you asked me.
Entrance scenes too, I assume.
Probably.
yeah, probably.
So they figured out another excuse to force the player to buy the accelerators, basically.
Yeah.
Credit to 2K, they understand how to strict people for cash.
Yep.
Oh god, it really bugs me because I know there's gonna be several like female wrestlers that I'll want to download. Like I tried to download Karma the other day, and she's apparently locked behind Ronda Rousey. All the creative characters of her require Ronda.
Ah.
Yeah.
You said that she required Jacqueline.
Oh, she probably required Jacqueline too. Yeah. At least Jacqueline's unlockable. Yeah. I'm definitely not paying $10 for 2 characters. I'd use Ray and I'd use Ronda, but I wouldn't use them that much. I can find a new top face. I can find more top faces, and I can find more female heels. Ronda is a heel, right?
She is now, definitely.
Ronda is a
push her
female
as a face.
because MMA.
But she's such an
I'm not sure what the reason was behind it. They were like, "Oh, here's a big popular star.
but she's such an
Go out there and be happy."
She's such an intensely unlikable person.
But Stephanie really liked her, so she wanted her to be top face.
Also Sonya Blade.
Don't remind me of that, Addy. We need to defeat Shao Kahn or Chronica or something.
See,
Oh, I get
this is my reason for not buying MK11. I don't want to support Ronda.
The like 2 cents that would go towards her.
Yeah. Ronda killed her back. Cannon.
Alright. I think we can call that a podcast, folks. We
Yeah.
will see
Bye.
you. Addy said, yep, there we go. I didn't even need to say it this time. Thank you, Addy. We will see you later, folks. I'm a vampire.